That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Goglings, Gogorifics, Gog peoples of the world. Welcome all to episode 222 of Pen and Pixels. This is your host, Arvin Elleron. This is the show that we do every Tuesday, focusing on story and narrative in games. And this is the penultimate episode of Talisman Adventures. That is right, the Killer Clown Invasion. It is the penultimate episode of Killer Clown Invasion, Talisman Adventures time, as we get ready to wrap up the campaign. I'm going to talk more about the final session in just a little bit, but before I do that, just a couple of quick reminders on how to help us here on the channel. If you haven't done so already, please follow us here on GOGcom's Twitch channel. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to check out as well and subscribe to us here on the channel, where you can get those custom sub badges to use here, there, and everywhere across Twitch. DRM free as always, of course. And if you haven't done so already, please click through and check out our individual channels, because we have our own individual Patreons and subsystems and stuff like that that we do while we're in the process of going through this. But today it is Talisman Adventures, and I do want to mention something, but I will do that when I introduce them. Just a quick note that we're going to be going tonight until right around 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then we will give way to Kilgore Trout, who's going to be coming up some hours later. I will then be back on my own channel playing more of a GOG game, the Banner Saga 3, with the amazing R Vocalist, and that'll be coming at you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So definitely want to make sure you check out, you're around for that. And then we're going to be moving on to the month of May. This is the last day of April. So we are closing in on the last official full month of spring for the year before we move on into the summer. Very exciting stuff. All right. But now, having said all of that, I'm going to unmute myself and let the lovely folks know that we are ready to go, and apologize if I interrupted one of them because I couldn't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I am going to head over to reveal to you. There it is. I knew I had it. The amazing crew of the GOG crew with Talisman Adventures. And I do want to say, I said I wanted to save this until they were actually on screen. So just as a reminder to everybody, this is the penultimate episode of Talisman Adventures. And then next month, start on the weekend, Memorial Day weekend in the States. So this is May 24th, 25th, 26th. I'm going to confirm with these folks when. I think we're planning on hopefully Saturday the 25th during my day, which will be their, regular evening instead of ungodly hour late evening, the way it often is for them. But we will be finishing up Talisman Adventures with a bang. It will be literally a bang. They will just all blow up in Talisman Adventures. No, just kidding. But they will be doing so as part of ARVCon to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. So I am very excited for that. This is going to be the 10th annual ARVCon, believe it or not. And it is raised over $30,000 for Damon Runyon over the years. Damon Runyon is very excited about it. They've kind of adopted us as one of their favorite charity events every year. And it's certainly one of our favorites as well, my favorites as well. So I'm grateful that these folks will be doing this. We have already 5 sponsors lined up. I have another set of sponsors on the way that should be responding soon. We have some new stuff coming up as well that will be premiering at ARVCon. We also will have 3 scientists from Damon Runyon playing in one of our tabletop games, and I will have a chance to interview those scientists as well, and giveaways and all that kind of good stuff. It's going to be awesome. But so you'll see the last of those sessions. That's assuming they get through today's session. So we'll have to see whether that happens, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm going to start with the person right below me, who is currently coming to us from is that a kitchen? Is that like a basement kitchen? What is that?
It was supposed to be a tavern.
It is a tavern. It looks very ominous. An ominous tavern, and that of course is Pyron Jade. It's good to see you, Pyron. How is life in the universe with you? How does it feel to be in the middle of a ominous tavern? And who are you playing today?
First of all, right when Arv left, I found out that I'm apparently having audio problems. So if somebody hears like static noise or weird clicking or coughing, please let me know. I'll try to fix it. I just don't know how. I'm going to play Regina Augusta III, and I had completely forgotten about our last session, so apparently we're currently fighting killer clowns, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, and life in the universe, Actually, it's been very busy, but I did a really cool thing that Mike already knows about. I've got a friend in the city where I lived before, and they needed some help this weekend. And so, me and my older son, we got to help out at their store, which is a small board game store. So
Oh,
they just sell board games and some Pokemon plushies, and it was a lot of fun. So that was a cool thing that happened and made me happy.
very, very cool. That's very neat. Yeah, uh, I don't think I was trying to think if I've ever actually had. My daughters and my son have come with me to many board game stores. I don't think we ever had the chance to actually do any like work in them, like volunteer or even running a campaign in them. That's very cool. Well, it is a pleasure to have Pyron Jade with us. And it is also a pleasure, of course, to have Dark Saber 2K with us, who is here in an ominous graveyard keeper background as well, which is always fitting given the person that is being played. And speaking of that, Saber, how are you? Who are you playing? How's life in the universe with you? And who are you playing this evening?
Well, first of all, we'll get out of the way. I'm going to be back as Reginald Shun, a ghoul, a druid, graveyard keeper, real mishmash of a character that it's been very interesting to play out. We were saying earlier, like, yeah, this is our penultimate session now. It's only just kind of sinking in.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
But aside from that, I've been playing a lot of Timberborn, which is just super cute, and I love all that. It's got like fluid, where you can dam rivers and have it like break its banks further up to flood a different area, and really, really cool stuff. It's all done with these adorable little beavers just going around going like, blah, 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 blah. And you just go, yes, that's exactly how I expected the beavers to sound.
That's pretty good, and it's a
Yeah.
damn lot better than the. Okay, I'm sorry. It was just right there, beavers. Anyway, I'm gonna have to check out that Timberborn. That sounds cool. Thank you, Saber. Thank you also as always for Dashboard and Mubat, etc. Moving right down the line, of course, the awesome and amazing wholesome horror gaming, also known as Mike, also known as
Man with too many handles.
Man with too many handles. How you doing, Mike? How's life in the universe with you? And who are you playing today? I also want chat to recognize, with no context at all, that this window is properly cropped. I'm just letting you know that. You
It's
don't need to know
100%
why.
properly cropped.
It's just properly cropped.
Listen, when you change brands and handles, setups and gizmos and gadgets as often as I do, you need to know exactly where your webcam's going to be at all times so that everything is very properly cropped.
Right.
And then you need to forget that you're part of a D&D group that uses Zoom, and Zoom has no cropping feature. So there's 2 foot of space above me right here. My camera ends up here. So I've got all my sexy neon lights behind me, and then this much blank wall, which just looks awful.
To be clear, we almost caused Bruce to expire from laughter when putting Mike's head lower down on the list. So I'm glad that Bruce survived that moment.
Here's a good image for you. Basically, if I'm at the bottom of my screen and I just sort of bob along, I look like a giant flesh diglet. There you go. That's a free one for you. Anyway, so from myself, I've been hunting anomalies and hunting ghosts just while everyone just dies of laughter now. I've been hunting anomalies and ghosts. It's going all right. It's even going to go even better on Thursday, because Thursday is my birthday and I took a day off work. So I'm going to play games all day because I'm a grown up and I'm allowed to do that because I asked everyone first. But otherwise, I'm playing Lump, who is a world walking warrior troll. And I'll be honest with you, there's suddenly killer clowns. I left you guys in the middle of a city, and now there's suddenly killer clowns. And now I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Firstly, I don't remember how to play. Secondly, how did we get here? There's a freeze frame moment with Lump, and he's like, yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. So I'm excited to find out.
Exactly. It's the lump leaping over an awning, and then it freezes like the old style Dukes of Hazzard. Like, now, friends, I don't understand what happened to that troll.
That's it. That's it.
But anyway, good stuff. I am excited to see how Lump gets into things, and we will try to summarize as best we can. There was a lot, so I'm going to try to not spend forever on the recap, but I'll try to make it as clear as I possibly can. But before I do that, I want to say hello to Undeveloped Bruce, who is here with us, and who did not expire from laughter, and so that's good. Bruce, it's good to see you. How's everything in your neck of the woods, and whom are you playing today?
Yeah, everything's great over here in this neck of the woods. We have been going to the woods a lot. I sort of had a period of time with the dogs where it was kind of hard to go out with them on adventures and do things. But we've come out the other side of that now, and we're back to our old adventuring selves, going to the forest. We went to sand dunes, you know, we had loads of fun going through all these little paths, winding along the coast and going to new places. And recently as well, it was the 2-year anniversary of me adopting Moog.
Yay.
So yeah, I can't believe it's only 2 years. I feel like I've had her 1,000, you know, and I
Uh-huh.
would gladly keep her 1,000 more. Anyway, today I am playing Weddle Weds Cragman. He is a dwarven minstrel from up the crags, and he has one goal today. I mean, blah blah blah. Keep the city safe. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, one goal. You know, you never know what's going to happen in life. Today could be your last day, and so it's important to chase your dreams. And that's why he's going to chase his dream of asking Unger Grey Heron, the handsome harbour master, on a date.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time for Weddle to shoot his shot, and I am comfortable that that will be actually able to happen. I am very glad to our brothers. So I'm glad to hear about the dogs and the adventures. That's awesome. Also, Mike left, or I would have said happy belated birthday, or not. No, happy. Sorry, not belated birthday. Happy ahead of time, early birthday, in case I don't do so on the time.
Thanks, mate. I'm mega old.
Yes, I'm mega old. Let me tell you, I don't feel your pain. All right, because I'm pretty confident you're not as quote mega old as this guy at the top of this column. Pretty confident, I would say. Anyway, it is a great pleasure to have all the crew with us. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about what happened in our last session. So the party has been dealing with a very difficult situation within the city, and that is that creatures have been coming to life and attacking the residents. At first, it was a series of gargoyles, and so the party spent a lot of time trying to track down people who knew about gargoyles, who could handle gargoyles, who might have addressed gargoyles. And then, and I know this was shocking to everybody there, it came out that there was some kind of, get ready for this chat, talisman associated with this that made it so that that was perhaps at the root of these creatures coming to life. And the party involved itself in a enormously elaborate chain of trying to gather who had given the thing to whom, and so on, and where had they gotten it from and where had they gotten it from. And they thought they had reached a dead end when they ended up finding ended up going through all of it. They thought they had made a dead end when the last person that had been given to, or sorry, that it had come from, was some sailor who ended up taking off on this ship, hence the harbor master connection with Weddle. And off they went, and so the party thought that it might be out of luck. But fortunately for the party, they decided to go in the other direction, and they were ultimately able to track down an obnoxious sprite known as Ainley, who, thanks to the quick thinking of the chat and the power of Regina Augusta III to bring Ainley to heal, the party ended up discovering that the talisman had come from the hands of the Wraith Lord, a very powerful creature that certainly does not mean good things to the people of the city, and had given them and decided that they would give this talisman over, which during the Festival of Strangers means that it's being given from place to place to place and person to person. And so the party has decided that something about that talisman is associated with, at least in the evenings, with that person having something to do with the manifestation of something they fear. And so, as the party was gathering this last information, it having hit midnight on the second night, suddenly there was a terrible shriek. And I want to describe this because Lump, Mike was not here last time for Lump, so I want to describe exactly what it was. So these, as you turned around, you found the streets filled with bizarre, jesters. Not normal, innocent jesters either. These are taller than humans, so skinny they appear unhealthy. They wear similar outfits in different motley mixes of colors, brightly patterned coats, tight leggings suitable for dancing, pointed shoes, and three-pointed hats fitted with jingling bells. They each carried a scepter that is topped with a small skull, itself wearing a miniature jester's hat. And as you get a better look, you could also make out that each jester has pale white skin, glowing red eyes, and short, sharp, fanged teeth that flashed in the evening torchlight as they cackled maniacally. And as I was showing everyone, this right here was the image of the jester. So I hope that that's comfortable for everybody. Just want to make sure that I'm clear. Let me just zoom in for that. Just a little bit of, make sure that we all...
Make your savings at the circus of value.
The circus of
marketing,
value.
that's all.
Exactly. The reaction of this, by the way, as I was going through the recap and prep for this, and I was watching the video of Saber just being like his reaction, because at a certain point, Saber was like, I know what these are. I know this is
the
not...
description was just lining up with exactly my mental image of clowns and jesters.
I was like, boy. Yes.
Like, yes, they would be a nightmare. This is all making sense.
Exactly. Now, there is one thing that is working in the party's favor, however, or several things, and that is the party did manage to go around and set up defenses ahead of time by talking to, with various levels of success. Some were more successful than the others. Regina, for example, was able to get the gladiators to agree that they were going to support the city. So there was a lot of bro and fist bumps and elbow bashes and, that type of thing. But they agreed that they were going to try to support to the degree they possibly could.
And maybe unionize.
And maybe, exactly, and unionizing, which was certainly very important. There was an attempt by Reginald to get some of the temple on side to be able to organize the healers for healing. That was somewhat less effective, perhaps having to do with a whole bunch of things, including like mobs and stuff like that. There was also setting up sort of efficient patrol coverage, training the city defenders, which I think a little bit of done was possibly by Lump, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I did want to double check. Do you remember, Bruce? I'm trying to remember what Hweddle was doing in terms of preparing the city, and I don't recall off the top of my head because I just keep going back to when you're going to ask Unger on a date. So I need to remember what exactly
understandable. It's been consuming Hweddle's thoughts a lot. Hweddle went to the scholars to the library and he got the information about the talisman. He made copies of pages from a book about the talisman and the Wraith Lord.
Okay.
And then he showed them to the captain of the Night Guard, Cadolin Arclight. And then he helped Lump with some rebuilding of some defenses, very ineffectually, but publicly,
That's right. That's right. I do now recall. A watch streak for Strider. 10 consecutive streams. That's what we like to see. Good stuff. Thank you. Okay. So yes. So in all of that preparation and setup, as you look around, you can see the streets are filled with these gestures. I'm going to fire up some combat music. And now this is going to be a little bit, let me see if I can figure out how to describe it. It's definitely not Final Battle of the Dark Wizards. It's not quite that yet. Let's go with that. Okay, so the question that we now have to answer is, although I was tempted to do a because it's gestures, but it doesn't actually fit. Okay, that's basically it, but sort of off and dark.
I've got a couple of versions like that.
So
I was going to say.
I know a few things.
I know at least a couple of versions. I'm not sure you can play them on Twitch, though.
But what I wanted to ask was, how does the party want to deal with this? So everywhere you look, there are jesters sort of attacking the people and sort of rushing around. There are multiple ways you could handle this. You could try to engage some of them in combat. You could try to... you're pretty near the city gates already, so you could try to sort of, I don't know, climb up and get a better look. You could, there are many things that you could theoretically do. I guess, as Saber pointed out, this might even be a good time to go check on the wizard. You could even abandon ship and just run away. You'll also do that.
He didn't mean it.
But what does the party want to do? Because any of these things are potentially viable options. All you know is that, as was the case with the gargoyles, there are a lot of gestures around.
Can you imagine if we go like the wizard out and he comes out and he sees the jesters? He's like, actually, I'd like to stay back in here, please.
I think
I
I'll
was
take
safer being I was
Exactly.
safer being locked in the bedroom. It's fine.
I think
We
I'll
all
get
were.
some rest. Yeah, you're not fooling anyone. Hey, JLC.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Do you have my current health and armor?
Yes, I do. That is a good
Excellent.
point. Let me check that out. So,
Thanks.
for Hweddle, I have 32 out of 32 life right now, Hweddle. And you actually have your light fate restored. You start with 2? Is it 2 or 1? You start with 2? Okay. Okay. 2, but you have 3 out of 8 spell points right now. Lump, I have you at 30 out of 30. I have you at 10 out of 12 armor. I have you at 3 out of 3 armor for the Myrmidon helmet. And then you would be 1 out of 7 on the light fate because we reset for that.
Yep. Cool.
Reginald, I have you at 25 out of 25 life, 2 out of 2 life for the Peddler's Cloak,
Yep.
3 out of 3 armor, 2 out of 8 light fate,
Yep.
7 out of 7 spell points,
Yep.
and then you have your wand, and you don't know how many charges that has left that can restore
Correct.
your cloak. Okay, so that's where we're at. So
Me?
that is the
Do
deal.
Regina?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do
Did I
me
not
as
do
well,
you?
please.
Oh, I thought I did. I'm sorry, Regina. I apologize. 24 out of 30 life for you, Regina.
Yes, but why? I have the same number, but why?
You got hit by something, and I don't remember.
I think it was
what.
the damn sprite.
Oh, the sprite probably did. Yes, because you also got hit on your armor too. 7 out of 12 armor is what I have for that.
Yeah,
And then you should be starting. You start with 2 light fate or 1 light fate.
2.
Okay. All right. And in case anyone's curious, I start with 4 dark fate. Just that's important. Okay, now, one thing that I wanted to point out, which is important here for everybody that you'll want to know. I love when I have on my notes something, literally I have the number 17. I don't know what that means. I have no idea why there's a 17 just there. I don't know what that means. Good job, previous Arv. I know what that means. Now, mechanically, because of the things that you have done in the course of your preparations, we'll talk about some of what it looks like as you battle across the city. But it also means that you have a total of 3 bonus dice as a group that you can use in your battle against the jesters. You could theoretically use those all in one, if you wanted to use 3 bonus dice on one, you could. But as a group, you have 3 bonus dice thanks to the work that you've done in building up the city's defenses. So I did want to mention that. Okay. And also, there are numerous districts in the city you could go to right now. You are over next to the city gates. And so as you turn around, one thing I will note is that you can see that there is a butcher and his family are cowering among cured slabs of meat at the front of the store. And you can see that the reason they've come out, I mean, it's midnight, right? But the reason that they've come out is because there is a wide-eyed, red-eyed jester standing in the door and is sort of like looking at the meat and occasionally is lashing out with its skull-topped scepter, and the butcher is trying to kind of like push them away. So that's the immediate thing you can see right near you, but there's stuff going on everywhere you look, and so it's up to you how you want to triage all of this and all of that sort of thing. So what is
Is
the party
that
want
the
to do?
nearest threat to us?
That's the nearest threat to you, yes, to the people
To
around you
us.
that you see, yes.
That is where Lump will be moving towards.
Okay. All right. Is everyone else doing the same thing?
Reginald's warming up a lightning bolt for something.
Okay. All right.
Regina would like to consult her books on tactics, meaning I'm going to use my tactician skill and spend a fate to roll 3 dice, which I then can replace, and the thing.
Yes, indeed.
So I'm gonna roll 3d6.
It's too late now, but it would have been funny if you had
That's
like a
nice.
random Sun Tzu quote every time as well and misinterpret
Yes.
it.
Never
I
interrupt your ally when they're harming themselves. That's not right.
I got 2 6s and a 1.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Nice.
I like to see that. That's good stuff. Okay. That's Regina. So Regina, once you've done this tactical consultation, Are you
Yes.
going to follow along with Lump, or as he heads towards this family that is under attack, or you're going to fly elsewhere in the city, or what?
Well, I'm pretty sure Lump can handle one single weirdly dressed human, whatever the human is doing there. Also, if it's really in the doorway and Lump is already going there, I don't think it will help. So, is there another weirdly dressed human that looks like a menace?
You see a number of them around. You could probably engage one, you would think, right here. Just sort of immediately close to you, you would say that you have probably about 4 of them, counting the one that's in the doorway over there. So you've got probably 3 others nearby that are attacking various people.
Okay, in that case, that seems. I will fly up high and try to get an overview of what's going on in the city. Like if there's maybe a well where they're all coming out from, or something that I can do some more major destruction than chasing 4 of them.
10,000 foot view. I love it. Huedel, what about you?
Or Huedel's just going to do the old standard Cloak of Shadows, the troll, please.
Okay. That means Huedel's going to, after his Lump is like, dun dun dun. Huedel's like, wait, like running after to do the Cloak of Shadows thing. Okay. All right. So in that case, it sounds like in terms of like order, do we want to have Huedel going first so as to do that cloak, and then well, all right. This is up to you, but it sounds like you want to at least go before Lump. Regina and Reginald, when would you want to go in the turn then? Like, Regina, do you want to do your 10,000 foot view? Reginald, do you want to go first? What do you think?
I'd rather go after Lump, just in case like Lump takes care of business completely.
Okay.
And
it's
then
always a fear.
yeah, well then I'm there to back you up or redirect.
So then Regina...
In fact,
oh, go ahead.
Can I go after Regina? Because Regina might be able to call out a target I can't necessarily be aware of.
Yes.
That's up to you. Sure. If Regina wants... Regina, do you want to go before Huedel and Lump, or do you want to go after Lump, since Lump is, planning on going where he's going?
I don't think really it matters, because Lump is going to do the saving thing anyway, so I can go after Huedel and Lump and before Regina.
Alrighty. Okay. All right. So, as I pull out my skill check thing, handily provided by one Pyranjade, by the way, just in case anybody's curious. I want to make sure that I had that there. Okay, can you go up here? Thank you. Great.
And remember, if we see a mime, run.
Yes. The power of the mime. Okay, wait a second. Let me get my thing up over there. Okay, great. Right. So. Okay. This. Right. Okay. Right.
It's a lot of reading for the troll immediately and automatically kills the jester.
Yeah.
No, I am actually
I
not...
can't wait to see how this punch kills Regina this time.
It's very true. Okay, I'm looking actually for the spellcasting test for the Cloak of Shadows. Right, okay, that is that thing. There's the Cloak of Shadows. Yes, difficulty 11. Okay, so you are going to need to make then, for me, please, Huedel, on your spellcasting test. You're going to need to make a spell casting test, which... It's also been multiple months for me, so... right, okay. So you're going to do a spell casting test. And so you do have this... You should have the skill, I think, Huedel, for spell casting. And then do you have a focus in this particular one? If not, it would just be 3d6 plus aspect, which I think would be wits.
Yeah, I have a focus in nature. I believe it is nature type.
And it is nature type. All right. So 3d6 plus aspect, +2.
Excellent.
That is what we're rolling.
The aspect is resolve.
Oh, sorry. Resolve, not wits. Okay. All right. That is going to do it, I believe. So you are able to do it. It is a standard success, which means that you are going to... I would argue for this one that you're going to have to spend an extra spell point or be strained by spellcasting. And what that may mean, if you remember, Weddle, is that you would suffer a -2 penalty to spellcasting tests after this until you have a short rest. Or you could just spend an extra spell point. So instead of spending whatever it is 1, you'd spend 2.
Yeah, I'll spend an extra spell point. It's not like I need them anyway. I'll get my rapier out afterwards. And I also, can I say that as when Lump moves forward, that Hweddle will move with him and stay within melee range of Lump.
Okay. Also, this is technically a free action, Hweddle, so you could get another, in addition to moving and staying close to Lump, you could try to also do something else in terms of getting an attack in on Lump's target, which is obviously the Jester, or something similar if you wanted. You could do something like that, or you could just sort of wait in, I guess, waiting to see what happens from Lump during the attack.
Oh yeah, go. No, the thing is, you see, when you're playing certain other RPG games, when you make an attack, they don't sometimes get to attack you back at that moment, whereas in Talisman they do, and so...
That is a good point.
I think Hweddle has probably made 3 melee attacks in the last 3 years we've been playing this game.
It's been very, very selective in your use of melee attacks.
Yeah, he'll think about it. You know, he kind of really likes having 32 HP.
Okay. All right. Well, the Cloak of Shadows has been cast. And what that means is that any damage that Lump would take as a result of ranged or melee attacks is halved until the start of that's Hweddle's, next turn. So keeping that in mind, that is going to bring us to Lump as you charge in. You can see as you get closer, by the way, Lump, that there is actually a person who is one of the city guard who apparently is already trying to defend, not very successfully, against this creature. It is waving its staff around, with the skull head, and like the guard is barely missing it, and the butcher and his family are terrified. And every so often the jester goes and cackles as he dances about.
Okay. Lump is just going to approach, be like, and then from behind the jester, kind of crack his knuckles, lift both his hands up, and then attack it straight down.
That's what I like to see. Let's see that melee attack.
Excellent stuff. Let me just remind myself how to do this. It is 3d6 plus that. Excellent stuff.
That's right, and it should be brawn would be the because I assume you have this
yeah,
skill.
no, it
so it would be brawn.
I do. I have a focus. I have the skill. Skill and focus in barehanded. So
3d6 brawn plus 2 is what we're looking at.
Yeah, 3d6 advanced dice roll. 3d6 plus brawn plus 2.
Yeah, Bruce, that's the you're forgetting about the jester's wooden doll attack. I'm just kidding.
That'll do it.
Wow, good stuff. Plus
Smoosh.
plus the power of the Kismet die. So
wait, how much health have I got? Oh, I don't heal more health than I already have, unfortunately.
That is true. Okay.
Throw an extra finger out of my shoulder.
Okay, so let's see. So we have got that's doubles.
Yeah, it is, baby.
And then we got that, which means we are looking at, and then extraordinary success is the extraordinary, right? Because of the Kismet, the 6 on the Kismet.
No, is it not going to be triple for an extraordinary?
It's triple. That's right. It's great success only.
Yeah.
So you inflict full damage on your target. Your opponent does not get an action. You just beat them
Excellent.
down, or at least you try to.
Cool.
All right. So let's see what that damage is all about.
And so, if there's a 6 on the Kismet die for an attack, I use my Stone Fist ability, which adds an additional d6 to my damage. So, 2d6
Stone
originally.
Fist.
Stone Fist. When it works, oh boy, it works. Add my Brawn, and then add 2 for Two-Handed Master as well. So, I got Brawn 7. So, it's that. I do a maximum of 13 points of damage.
Okay. Let's see.
It was a really bad roll, actually.
13. Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, comparatively. Let's see. 13 points of damage. Okay. That nonetheless slams into them, and he sort of staggers back. And as you can as you sort of see him, you can see that his mouth is bloody, and so as he grins at you, there is blood outlining each one of his teeth. Yeah.
Come on, then. Let's finish this.
Okay. So. All right, but thanks to that incredible attack, they do not get an action. All right. Good stuff. You are now on top of them, and you could see, like, you're sort of standing right in front of the family as they're just sort of lying there next to these slabs of meat, and the creature cackles again and sort of ducks behind one of the slabs of meat. Okay, and that is going to lead us next up to Regina. So, Regina, you head up to the 10,000-foot view, and there's a lot going on, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to see some, like, more or less of it, depending on how things go. I would like you to make a noticed test for me, please. And so that's notice, and then the particular focus, I think, would be... Actually, I don't entirely know what the focus would be. Notice. There we go. If you have a focus either in ambushes or sight.
No.
Okay.
But
Then
I
in
would
that
need
case,
to
it is just
check.
going to be 3d6 then.
No, but I do have notice as a skill.
Oh, okay. So then then 3d6 plus the aspect, and this would probably be wits, I think is what we're looking at here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so 3d6 plus wits. Where's the advanced roller? Give me the advanced roller.
You're a little quiet, Pyron, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I switched things around on the microphone to make it better, and I think maybe I didn't.
Well, it doesn't sound like snow any at all. Okay.
Okay.
We're looking like is that an 8 I see there?
It is an 8.
Okay. Oh yeah, now we get the but it's louder. I think what that is actually, honestly, because I had this happen with a microphone, it's a cable that's either loose
Yeah.
or that a connection is off.
Yeah, the cable was stuck between the desk and the wall, and I loosened it, so I hope it's not broken.
Yeah, it might just have to be that it's like you might have to. Yeah, all right. Anyway, for now we will take what's there. So, unfortunately, that 8 is not going to get the job done, which means that you see not as much as you might see, but you do see some things. So there's a lot of confusion around the city, and there are. I will allow you to look. If I told you that there are 6 places where there are things happening, I will allow you to look at 2 of them to basically see 2 of these. So the question is, Regina, you can decide about which ones there are. So I have one that is, let me make sure that I got the number right. All right. There's one to the north of the city, south, east, and west, so all the cardinal directions, and northeast and northwest. So 6 total. So which of those directions would you like to look? So you've got north, south, east, west, and then you've got northeast and northwest.
Which way is the harbor?
The harbor, I think, would be south.
So, I'm near the city gates right now. True?
Yes, that's right.
So
Actually, yeah, that's true. The city gates would probably be south. So I take that back. Probably west would be where the harbor is, actually.
Okay. We were told about this Wraith Lord thing by some weird minions, if I remember.
Yeah, by the Sprite. It was one of the major ones.
Yeah, the Sprite. That was the thing that happened. Did the Sprite give us some kind of hint? She just told it like that he's living underground or something, right?
Yes, and that he does not like, he is annoyed at the city, does not like the living world, and that he had decided that he'd had enough of happiness and, people having a good time, handing each other necklaces, all that sort of thing.
So where would all the happy people be? So there was this marketplace at the beginning where we got attacked by the gargoyles.
Yes.
Where would that be?
So that would be towards the town square, is if you wanted to look in that direction, which would be, so the town square would basically be to the east from, no, I take that back, the northeast from where you are. So if you want to look at the town square, we're looking at northeast.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna look towards the harbor, because that's where the Talisman went, and towards the town square because that's where the happy people were.
Okay, let's start with northeast, which is the town square. From where your position is, you can see that there are two what look like these jesters who are throwing something. You can't quite make it out, and then you kind of like narrow your eyes, or narrow your gaze. You think that they're throwing what looks like fruit at people from like produce carts. So they're like throwing vegetables and fruit and stuff like that from these carts. Except that in one occasion, you see a person sort of yelp in pain. You can't really make out the sound because there's too much other noise. And they kind of stagger back, and you see the glint of what was clearly not a vegetable, but a knife. So apparently jesters are throwing vegetables at people, and just to mix it up occasionally, are throwing daggers at them as well. So that's what's going on in the town square. As you look up to the direct west, which is heading towards the harbor area, sort of in that direction, you can see that there is there's this sort of a square on the way, not a square, but kind of a clearing along the way, kind of an intersection, where there is a well. And you can see there is another one of these jesters that appears to be trying to tip somebody into the well. And they seem to be like cackling, giggling, jumping up and down, and then trying to tip the person into the well again.
So that confirms for the Regina the suspicion that jesters comes from wells.
Well.
Yeah, could be. So, but there's not something where I can see like an evil glow that spawns jesters or something
you do
like
not.
that.
You do not.
Okay, I'm just gonna put that problem to the more thinking people of the group, and I'm gonna fly down and inform Reginald, like, chaos all over the city, what shall we do?
Okay. So you fly down to tell that to Reginald, and Reginald, appropriately enough, it is your turn.
I look at the lightning bolt man and just actually fling it towards the jester.
Okay.
Shame to waste it.
All
So I'm
right.
probably going to verge more ghoul with my voice, Fallout Ghoul, because I have been playing a lot of New Vegas and 4 lately.
Yes.
So I may be speaking more like this, smooth skins. It's a hard one to maintain,
Take
though.
this lightning bolt.
Anyway, yes. So I do have spell casting with nature focus.
Okay. And it can be nature. So, let's see. That's against this thing. Okay. All right. I have the threat down of the creature in question.
Threat, yes.
So
Okay,
yeah.
so
So we're
that's
looking
gonna
at 3d6 focus.
Yeah.
So 3d6, and then the aspect would be nature. Sorry, would be yeah, 3d6, right, and then +2. So
Yep, and and I get +6 from my resolve as well. All right. 7, 8. Yep. So 15.
Let's see. A 15, because I have not yet deployed my Dark Fate. A 15 is enough.
Okay, in
and so
that
you do
case,
strike it.
I will spend a light fate to re-roll the 1.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's 3, 4. So yeah, 3, 4, 2.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, I was just going for doubles.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. So zap. All right. So that's 1d6 plus your craft.
Yeah, so that's 1d6 plus ouch, because that's plus 7.
Nice. Wow. So this just that you hear this, and like Lump is just standing there, and kind of like the jester is staring at you through bloody teeth, and then is just vaporized, just like, you know, motley cap bells go everywhere, like, and you basically are looking at it, Lump, and then it just disappears, and all that's left is the staff doing this, like spinning around, doing it, you know, and then slowing down.
So that's what that feels like.
You have no idea how long I've wanted to do that.
All right. So that creature is utterly destroyed, and it could not take a return action against you anyway, because Lump had already. Because Lump had already addressed that through the original attack, so it did not have an action. Okay. That
I
takes
was
care of
really
this.
glad you stood behind Lump.
Yeah, and the butcher says, "Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. We would never have been able to." And you can see the guard who's been kind of injured, who is also sort of staring at that section, feeling kind of shocked. So they kind of say, "Don't mention it," and then they look over and they see that Reginald sort of doing the, you know, like, and they're like, "Oh." And for a moment, the guard, for one shining moment, the guard was like, "I did that. I am the." Oh, no, I am not the one. Anyway, so the guard says, "Right, I'll take care of this family, but you got to get to somewhere else. They're all over the city." And indeed, you can find that that's true. As we go up to the top of the next round, Regina, I'm going to have you come back down so that you can explain what it is that you've seen. So now, as you're looking around, there are only 3 jesters in your immediate vicinity. But of course, you know that there are other things happening elsewhere in the city, Regina.
There's a slight problem with that. Pyron Jade has no microphone.
Oh, no mic?
Yep, no mic whatsoever.
Yep,
She's
just
she's trying to hotfix export it at the moment. So
Okay, got it. Okay, so as that is happening, I will leave that to the rest of the crew for the moment then. As Regina comes down, sort of shocked and horrified, and is just sort of like...
I'm right in thinking there was so like this was near the harbour, correct? That Regina saw this.
Regina.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heading in that direction.
Saw people trying to push other people in the well.
That's correct.
Or in a well, and lots of people throwing fruit and vegetables and sort of.
That was in the town square. So that was in the town square. The other one was the well one. Yes, the one towards the harbor was the well. The one towards the northeast was the town square.
Being the person who wasn't here for the last session, Bruce and Saber, is it the harbour we're going to? Are we going to the
Queddle
harbour?
is.
I know where Queddle wants to go.
Yeah, Queddle's already like halfway down the street, going, "Unger, I'm coming for you, my love. Wait for me."
Is Weddle actually doing that?
Maybe slightly less dramatically.
But you are running towards the harbour now that jester's dead.
Yeah, the jester's dead. Regina's come down and said, "Oh, there's trouble in the well going towards the harbour."
So you put 2 and 2 together and gone, Unger's in danger.
Yeah, Unger's probably not in danger. He's nowhere near this well, but that doesn't matter. That's all I'm seeing.
All right.
What's that, little lassie? Unger's down the well? So everyone got
What's
Jester
that
on
little
the sidebar.
sprite? Unger's down the well?
Unger's down the well. Yeah, we're just getting the pictures fixed. Pyron had to restart. So I'm going to do this so as to immediately make it so that you can't actually see anybody. That's how that's going to work.
Nice.
Anyway, go ahead.
So from the story perspective, do we know anywhere where this might be coming from?
Not at the moment. Now, you haven't talked to anyone yet,
Nope, that's
so you don't know if there's anything, but at the moment, you're not sure. I mean, you can say that near the gates, since you are near the gates, there is nothing like pouring through or above the gates. So there doesn't seem to be any like external invasion that you can make note of.
Cool. And this is the Wraith Lord we're talking about, right?
Well, the Wraith Lord is the one that is responsible, allegedly.
And there's not like
for this.
this way to the Wraith Lord's tower,
No.
or like, by the way, the Wraith Lord always hangs out in this pub.
No, the
Any
Wraith
bit of
Lord is
information?
actually
Okay, cool.
seldom seen
So
by
we-
people above the ground, actually.
Okay, cool. So we actually don't know where this is coming from. Like,
No.
like table talk and character talk, we have no idea where this might be coming from.
Sadly, no.
Sweet.
Table-
To the harbour.
Yeah, I don't think we did very well with checks regarding Wraith Lord's
No, that's
knowledge
fine.
last
That's
time.
fine. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I'm not charging off in a random direction where you're all like, "Lump, we discussed this 2 sessions ago. Like, we need
No,
to
we
go
had
at this
the only
avenue."
piece of table talk we had was when I made the copies from the book. The talisman's effects are particularly strong for children,
Right.
and so we did know that it is most likely being worn by a child who is afraid
Right.
of jesters.
Okay, cool. But at the minute, so from a character point of view, from a sort of table point of view, we don't really know where this is coming from. From a character point of view, Lump has seen Weddle run off. Lump is going to run after Weddle.
That's right. Yeah, to this point, that is
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. So
I imagine if
and-
a child's scared of jesters and this is their nightmare, they're going to have a lot of jesters focused on them.
yeah, I mean, while we're running, we could
Where
keep an
they
eye out
swear-
if there's a big congregation of them.
Yeah,
Like,
find
are
us
there-
the largest concentration of jesters.
Is there
And a
like a
flamethrower.
mecha jester somewhere that's being assembled at the moment? Like this sort of like wobbly giant jester made of smaller jesters?
Jester
it's
bots,
it's a
roll
jester
out.
reaper.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
Mass
yeah,
Effect 2.
it's a jester. Or is there just a one big jester outside the city and suddenly Attack on Titan music starts playing? You know, that sort of thing.
You
could
Yeah, Imaginary Exponent, you can certainly speculate and chat about possible team actions. They are the ones who get to decide, but certainly
Yeah,
chat
go
can,
for it. Yeah.
chat can play along.
This is a co-op game. Do you know?
If you're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you're like nuke the jesters from orbit, it's the only way to be sure. I mean, I don't
Jester of Ultron.
agree.
Exactly. It's like mecha jester.
form blazing jester.
Da, 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 da.
Sorry, Bruce, you had a question.
Laughing Now.
No, I was just going
Jingle,
to comment,
jingle,
say that, you know,
jingle.
it's kind of like in that one TV show with people dressed in different coloured costumes where they defeat the bad person in a normal small size and then the person grows because of which there's a magic potion.
Not
Scooby-Doo.
or
even my
something.
valid form. It sounds like Mighty Morphin Powder Rangers is what.
Yeah.
Sounds like Scooby-Doo as well, to be honest. Different people in different colour clothing.
By our powers combined, I am Captain Jester. Is also.
Yeah,
also that.
absolutely.
Okay. So, I see Pyron Jade is trying to log back on. Let me get Pyron back
Pyro
on.
waves. I like that.
All right. I'm aware that this is off. Bear with me, chat.
Dun,
Well, the important people are in the right places.
dun, 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 dun. Do you mean you? You and Arv.
Okay, Pyron, can we hear from you, hopefully?
Hello?
Yeah, there you are.
Is it me you're looking for?
I can see it in
We're
your
gonna
eyes.
hear you.
I can see the Jester smile.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's all I've ever wanted. Okay. Right. Okay. I will recapture chat. Fear not.
So we've decided we're going to run towards the harbour. Well, actually, Weds is running towards the harbour because Unga might be in danger because you relayed what you said, as in someone might be getting thrown down a well near the harbour, and also there's a fight breaking out at the town square. Whilst we're on our way, I had a quick table talk / catch up with everyone because I didn't know if story-wise, like as players, we knew what we were doing. I know that sounds harsh, but like if we actually knew where we were going and what we were specifically looking for, but turns out we don't. So whilst we're going there, we're also going to keep an eye out for congregations of jesters because an excellent point was raised of if this is maybe a child wearing this talisman who is afraid of jesters, there's probably going to be a lot of jesters around them or in their vicinity. So
Wait, didn't we actually have a hint towards a child that was afraid of jesters? Like, I feel like we've heard about something like that. when? Last year.
I don't, at this point in this city, right this moment, you could throw a rock and hit any child that's afraid of jesters.
Yeah, well, after this,
And most of the adults at the moment.
after this night, yeah. But we
So we're
had
gonna
contact
run.
with children.
Yes, that's true. I don't know that you had the specific child. You did know that it was a child, almost certainly, that was producing this kind of, terror of creatures. You kind of put two and two together, and figuring out which child it goes to. Presumably, you might be able to do also if you're able to conquer these creatures. I mean, I guess if what you're suggesting is you'd like to go see if you can find the child who's responsible for this, if it is a child, you might be able to do that. Although in the process, might be hard when you've got jesters raining down death and destruction on you and all of the fellow people of the city as you're going.
I'm going to borrow an idea from an imaginary exponent in chat. We find the child, right? And we convince the child that there are worse things in the world than jesters, like debt and taxes and mortgages.
And then you're hit by like bags of money falling from the sky.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Right? It's absolutely.
No, wouldn't the sky start sucking all the money away?
Yeah.
Oh,
it would
yes.
just-
Money!
It would just
It's a
be
gas.
solicitors and debt collectors and
Round envelopes for everyone.
politicians.
I'm sure there must be some people out there in the world for whom their worst nightmare is the forgivance of all student loans, just find that one.
Or just
Find
a
that
quiet
person,
Sunday.
make
Why
them
just-
wear the talisman and put them
Oh
in.
no, I
we
hate
just need
quiet
to-
Sundays.
We just need to find a really bad person and give them the talisman. Because they would have nightmares about things they dislike.
Oh,
Like,
so their
hey,
nightmares would be
people.
all like gentle kindness and.
Oh, how dare this be a peaceful world? I hate peace. I fear peace and quiet.
My
Yeah.
greatest nightmare is peace.
Yeah, like a weapon merchant, like for mass destruction weapons in a fantasy world or something like that. And he's like, oh no, peace.
No, peace and quiet. No, harmony. Oh no. Okay, so we're running. I'll be running towards the harbour then.
I
Weddle's
don't-
running towards the harbour.
Yeah, Lump's running after Weddle because there's a lot of angry jesters around, and Weddle is precious to Lump. So
Regina is looking for advice from Reginald because that was the last thing she was doing, so maybe something is gonna happen now.
Reginald missed a lot of the conversation and is just following everyone.
Then Regina is following Reginald.
So that means everyone is running after Lump then, ultimately, if
After
I
Weds.
understand this
I've
correctly.
left the Weddle.
after
Okay, so
Weddle.
yeah, Weddle, Lump, and then Regina and Reginald in that order.
Yeah.
Is that
Then Reginald, then Regina,
So-
because Regina is following Reginald.
Keep an eye out. Gotta
if-
look for
if-
Mecha
but-
Jester.
But Regina is gonna look out suspiciously if she sees anything yellow, because she knows there was a problem with yellow before.
Yeah, not specifically. And the fact that, I mean, there are lights and sort of lanterns that are lighting the city, but they're not super bright. So there's some that you might not immediately check. But regardless, you don't think you see any yellow in particular, Regina? No, at least not at the moment.
Well, but it could still happen, and if it's not like a beehive or something, I might attack it.
That's true. All right, well, that's going to lead us to first up then. So, Weddle, you are basically just booking it towards this place. Now, you were going to end up entering in fairly short order. You're going to end up entering this well that is on the way to the harbor. So, I guess what I want to double check is, what do you want to do if you run into somebody? Like, are you just sort of giving them wide berth? Are you attacking on sight?
You mean
Wait.
if I run into a jester?
Yeah.
He's not going to ignore a jester that's in between him and the harbour, So he'll. I mean, he's really riled up. He's in his mind. Unga's in danger. Probably surrounded by 20 jesters, and so he's really riled up. He might even attack a jester with his rapier on sight.
Okay.
Not to like blow things up, but
Yep.
we've reached that point.
No, I get it.
Big moment. No whammies.
He's gonna
Okay.
make a basic melee attack.
So Weddle is making his way rapidly towards this square. Won't be able to get there this turn, but probably next turn would get to the place that had the well that you saw people being pushed into, or that you were told had people being pushed into it. Let's see. So, that is going to lead us to Lump is up next, I believe.
Yes, so I'm jogging behind Weddle. Is Weddle engaging? Did you say you were engaging with the Jester? You going to attack it?
We haven't reached the
Have not
Jester
run
yet,
one
we're
into,
still
yeah.
just running.
That's fine. I'm just going to keep pace. I'm keeping an eye out, though. Are there any big groups, big mosh pits of Jesters down that alleyway?
You
down
do
that
not
straight,
see
down
any
that
as of
alleyway?
yet.
No? Okay, cool. I'm glad you didn't make me roll a notice test.
Yeah.
Because I got a helmet on, man. I'd be like, I don't know.
I can't
Sorry,
actually
Wes.
see. Yeah, no, you do not. You do not see anything in the near
Okay,
vicinity that is Jester-like, although presumably so.
running.
Okay, let's see. So that would lead us to Reginald and Regina.
So I don't know what I can do really right now. I'm just going to be following Lump/Queddle right now, I think.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
Regina likes to tell people what she's thinking, and apparently there's free space to talk right now, so she's gonna shout at Reginald from behind. We should look out for evil yellow things, or maybe children in yellow clothes, or a yellow jester, or yellow magic stuff.
That's a lot of yellow things.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
What colour's the
What?
peddler's cloak, by our curiosity?
Bright yellow.
Yeah, bright. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
Bright circus yellow. If we are running, if there is a couple of seconds to talk, Lump will say to Weds as they're sort of running in tandem, it's like, at some point, we need to talk. There might be somebody trying to kill me in the city. No biggie though.
Yeah, this Weddle's not expecting this, and also me as a player, I'd completely forgotten this like little side thing.
Mhm.
Trying to kill you like the Jesters.
Yeah, long story. Old friend. Well, not really. Anyway, tell you later.
All right. Cool. Just keeps running.
What?
It's about as close as we get to an RP moment in a moment like this. So
was gonna say.
we gotta grab what I can.
I was gonna say, like, what a dramatic, RP moment while running down an alleyway,
While we're here,
running
yeah.
after jesters. Yes.
While we're here, Jester. I just need to tell you, Jester.
It would be funny if you're actually doing this. You're just as you walk by, punch in the face. So
Yeah.
then I, it's like repeatedly.
Well, my original plan, if I'd have killed the Jester, it would have been like I was punching the Jester, throwing it around, whilst also saying this to Weds because they were stood right behind
Right.
me.
But then you had that one was lightning bolt obliterated by
that one
a
was
friend
blended.
of yours.
That one was blended.
Okay, so that's Weddle and Lump. Then Reginald and Regina, who are running afterwards. And you were running after basically Lump. So Reginald, you're going as fast as you theoretically can, which is
Yep. Speed 11 if that's needed.
Okay. Probably not close enough to be able to hear what Lump was saying to Weddle, I imagine, right?
I'm probably lagging behind if Lump's actually going at any sort of speed.
Because there's a lot of like cackling laughter also that's sort of
Also
blocking
that, yeah, dodging around people, fleeing jesters, they're falling out of windows, they're throwing custard pies at cows.
as they do, like that's the thing that happens. Okay, which leads us to Regina. Regina, you're zipping along behind. You're doing so at mostly ground level. I mean, I know you're flying, but like, are you like flying? Are you doing the 10,000 foot? Trying to do the 10,000 foot view? Okay.
No, I'm flying like at shoulder height to shout at Reginald from time to time, and then maybe just zip up and get a better view, then come back down,
Okay.
telling him something that I saw, like there was a bird or something like that, because I have speed 16, so I'm like a lot faster than he is.
I feel like a lot of this campaign has been Regina shouting at Reginald.
She's just like that.
So, as we move into the technically in quotes the next round, you actually arrive at the clearing to see that indeed there is someone, a jester, that is trying to push a citizen down into the well. It's an older man with white hair. He's like, "No, please, please," and the jester's, "You seem a little dry-skinned." He's like trying to push and pull them over into the edge. As you hear that laughter, you also hear more maniacal laughter next to you, Lump, and I would say everyone else as they arrive see this as well, which is that there is a woman who cries out, and you can see that to your left there is an alleyway, and a jester is laughing as they chase a woman down an alley. And in the moonlight, you can see the glint of the blade that they hold above their head as they're running after this woman. So you have a woman in the alleyway to the left, and you have an old man being pushed into a well in front of you.
So
Sophie's choice, chat.
Old man being pushed into a well, woman in alleyway with jester with knife.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Lump detours down the alleyway.
Okay. Lump's going to detour down the alleyway. Regina, Reginald, Weddle, what are you going to do? This is basically setting up the round, so.
Weddle is just, after what Lump has said, is just not going to leave melee range of Lump. So just assume wherever Lump is,
You are.
Weddle's like
Weddle
under
is.
his feet.
Okay. And Weddle is still going before Lump, theoretically, or right afterwards, because I guess technically afterwards, because you're kind of following after Lump, right?
I would like
Yeah,
him
I
to go
think-
after me, so I still have Cloak of Shadows.
Okay.
I think Lump and although Weddle set off first, they probably were like side by side as they were talking, and then once they reach here, Weddle falls in behind Lump.
And for the record, the Cloak of Shadows disappears because it did take you a turn to get here.
Oh,
so
I see, I
Weddle
see.
would have to redo that. That's why I was asking
Cool.
about that.
Well, I'll shut my mouth then.
So is that, Weddle, you want to recast it, or?
Nah, Weddle's just gonna. He's only got one spell point left. Who
Right,
knows what
yeah.
he'll need it for?
Okay. All right, so Lump followed by Weddle are going to go down the alleyway. What about Reginald and Regina?
Well,
I'd like to turn to Regina and just say, "Want to push the jester in the well?" So I think that's where we're at.
Okay.
yes, Regina would like to push the jester into the well with her spear.
Is that Reginald going first or Regina going first of the two
That
of
is
you?
Regina going first, no matter what Reginald says.
Wait, we should do this together. Oh, well.
Who could have foreseen this?
What could go wrong? All right, let's start with Lump. So, Lump, you chase after the jester, and the good news for you is that the alley is not very long, and so pretty quickly you find yourself as this woman is sort of like just sort of backing up, eyes very wide, staring back at the jester, which is the cut is this is the unkindest cut of all. I'm going to cut left and right. I'll make it quick. Don't worry. All right, so is closing in on this woman. So
Lump speeds up
Okay.
and just slams straight into the jester. Now, talk to me about logistics. Is this alleyway going onwards, or is there a wall?
No,
or-
there is a wall, and the woman is against it. Now, if you literally like just sort of magic, missile yourself, like green missile yourself towards them, there is the risk that you might take the jester and slam into the woman that's with her back to the
Bloody
wall.
stupid people. Right, okay.
But the alleyway's not very wide, I should say, too.
Let's taken that off the table. Okay, new plan. Screech to a halt behind the jester, but with enough momentum to double hand slam into them.
Double hand axe chop. All right.
Yeah. pretty much.
Okay, so we're going to double hand axe chop. I am I am exercising my authority under the Talisman rules to pump up this creature with the power of Dark Fate.
Damn it.
So let's
How
see.
dare you? I'll have your
it's-
license for this.
I was gonna say, I'll never forgive me. Okay. So, all right. Interesting. He said, very interesting.
Interesting, as he denied me using Heedless because I was going to slam straight into the Jester and magic missile.
You can still use Heedless. It just means that you will obliterate the woman in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. It's not thematic, is it? I can't be like, I'm going to heedlessly attack, but I'm going to gracefully stop first.
You know, if you're going to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs. Is what happens.
This is one of those moments where, like, if you jump off a building and you're like plummeting towards it, it's like, this is a heedless moment, you know?
All right, so time for the combat check then. Let's see what you do.
What about a 21?
A 20. Wow. A 21 is enough. Now, that is a standard success. So that means that you are going to take a little bit of damage from the creature. And I would remind everyone, don't forget about your collective 3 bonus dice, by the way, that you have available to you. But that, and that can be used on damage rolls. It can be used on skill checks and things like that, if you wish. Nice if we're actually looking in the right book.
So, because it's a standard success.
Right. So on a standard success, what that means is that you are going to hit for full damage, but the Jester is going to hit you for half damage. So you are going to hit your target for full damage, though. So go ahead and do that.
5. Wow, my D6 rolls are terrible tonight.
Okay.
Jeez.
So let's see.
It's because I had to stop.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, this would never have happened.
This would have been cinematic, if not. But no, I had to stop, turn on a heel.
Okay. So let's see. I am going to. I'm going to use another one of the Dark Fate, which, I mean, what could go wrong?
I imagine this Jester turning into, like, has anyone seen the League of Gentlemen where, like, he quaffs too much Jekyll and Hyde potion?
Not that much. Yeah, exactly. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen remains an underrated film. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
It's really good, isn't it?
That sequence
it's so campy. It's great.
It is great.
Yeah.
That sequence on the sub where they're figuring out what actually went wrong is badass. I don't care what anybody says.
That is very
it's a
good,
great sequence. And it's got some great lines. I'm immortal, sir, not a gazelle. How am I supposed to get across Venice? Oh, man. I love Dorian Gray for that. All right, anyway. This is what I was looking for. Perfect, yes. So I'm going to use, it is not what we were talking about there is not actually going to happen. But, what I need you to do here, yes, okay, right. So, as they turn, you'll be happy to know the good news is that they are going to do a little bit of damage to you, but not a whole bunch. In fact, specifically, they are going to, as they lash out with their scepter, we are looking at a grand total of, so it's about 6 slashing damage with their scepter, which is reduced. So that's 3. And if you want to take that off of your armor lump, so you could bring that down to 7, I guess, out of 12 is what we're looking at.
It's because this is the first combat. I put an X in one of them. Is that right?
That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So you're going to do that. But there is one other thing, which is as they do this, and you hit them for, you hit them for some serious damage. They goes, and he like roars in laughter. I need you, please, Lump, to make a fortitude test as they laugh at you. And this is, and I also need, who else is there? Hweddle. Hweddle, I need you to make that fortitude test too, please.
Is this poison?
No.
Fuck.
This is not poison. It is terrifying jester laughter.
Is it brain poison? Is it?
Could you give me some more details on how to make a fortitude test?
Yes, this is this is a resolve test basically. So you're gonna go,
Cool.
you're gonna go 3d6 plus, let's see. In this case, it would be,
Fortitude.
yeah, So
The skill, if you've got the skill Fortitude, it's 3d6 plus your resolve. If you've got,
if not, then it's just
I assume
3d6.
it's a focusing, I don't know, mind control or fear or something like
Yes,
that. So
it would be. That's
not
right.
not poison.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In fact, let's see.
I rolled a 5. It's
Okay.
another one. It's another one.
I got a light fate.
Hey, nice of them.
Yes, this would actually be an endurance. Is the focus?
Oh, no,
that
I didn't
we're
get
looking
5.
at here.
I got
En-
12.
Endurance
wrong roll.
is endurance is what we'd be looking at.
Endurance. Yeah, no. I
Yes.
don't.
Okay. And it's resolve. So, okay, let's see. So we have, is that, okay, so is that a 14 that I see from Huedel?
Yeah.
Okay, 14 from Huedel. And then Lump, did you have a 12?
Yes.
Is that I see there?
Confirmed.
Okay. So, you feel, as this happens, Huedel, you feel this terror almost settle over you, but then you're like, I mean, what about Unger though, right? And your back is stiffened, and you're like, screw this, right? And you are not afraid of the creature. But Lump, you have never. Now you have caused people to be obliterated in showers of blood, and like you've seen a whole lot, right? That 1,000 troll stare. You've seen a whole bunch of stuff, but what you have not ever seen is this creature which has just been hit, laughing maniacally at you with these glowing red eyes and this blood-stained teeth. So the effect of this is that you will not be able to attack this thing next round. You're just like you're not incapacitated. You could like run away from it or like jump up or like Hulk smash the wall or something, but you cannot attack it. Next round, at least. The round after, we'll see. So it is something that it did to you that was disturbing. So that is Lump and that was Lump there. So Huedel, you probably see Lump sort of. I don't know what does that happen like. How does that look, Lump, after you hit the creature? Like, what does Lump actually do reactively that Huedel might
He
notice?
just kind
from
of
behind?
draws back a bit, like draws his fist back and sort of goes, oh.
Yeah, which is the first time, Huedel, I would imagine you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quaddle's
Yeah,
like,
probably.
oh my gosh, this is the guy that Quaddle hides behind in every single fight for 3 campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is Quaddle's time to
Time to
repay and protect Lump for once.
Nice.
Um,
In Lum's mind, he's like, this thing, I hit it and it's just laughed at me in a way that makes me think like, this is not from here. This is from someplace else that I don't like.
Oh, and actually, Lump, Huedel, you just think for a second about what it is you want to do. I want to mention this. That's actually accurate, Lump. When you see the smile of this creature, you are reminded of one of the reasons that you were, and you've shared this, I believe, already with your compatriots, the reason that you were asked to leave the city in the first place.
Right.
And it has
I've
something
not said
to do
the
with
specifics of that, but
That's
they
right.
do know I was asked to leave the
has
city.
something to do with your past. Something about the blood in that smile is the thing that's connecting to you. Okay, Huedel. So, what would you like to do?
But Quaddle's gonna take out his rapier and do a little stabby stab.
All right. At the blood-stained tooth creature. All right.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a melee attack here. So I would like you. Do you have melee attack as a skill?
Yes, I have the skill without a focus.
Okay. So then we're just looking at 3d6 plus aspect, and that would be for melee.
I think it's agility.
I think it's
for
agility
rapier.
for this. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Because of the rapier. Yep. That's what I was checking.
Plus-
Put the troll in PTSD. Let's see. So an 11. I am sorry to say that is not going to work. Now the good news on this, well, actually no, it doesn't, because it's responding in the same time to this. So as you try to stab at it, you are going to take some damage from this creature. no, you don't, because because he got to react to lump. I take that back. So you're not going to actually take damage from the creature, but you do not hit it either. You would have taken damage if it were not for the fact that lump had already gotten this, oh my god, fear thing. That's part of it. Okay.
It's fine. Weddle's only used his rapier like twice before in his life.
It was so shiny when you drew it forth, like it's never been, never been drawn in anger. Okay, so Weddle and Lump face their fear down a dark alleyway as Regina and Reginald charge into the clearing where an old man, please, no, the jester is trying to dump this into a well. So first up, I believe, is Regina, and Regina, I think you said, with a very happy, excited face, as of that of a child, happy on Christmas morning to receive gifts. In this case, it is the gift of pushing a jester into a well, or at least trying to. I'm trying to think about. I don't know that this is a melee attack though. This is probably like
I'm still gonna. The thing is, I'm still like very, very small. I'm a small thing. So I'm just gonna do the thing with my spear, and either I'm gonna skewer it or it's gonna fall into the well. So
Yeah.
there is no downside to this.
That seems reasonable.
There's just a
You're not
pointy
throwing
side.
it, right? You're melee attacking with it, I assume.
No, I'm. If I feel like there is no more time before he throws the old man into the well, I would throw. But if I still, because I'm pretty fast, if I've got enough time to just
I think you can get to
slam
him.
with my spear into the jester, I would like to do that now.
Okay, I think you will get to him. Now, 1 point, Regina, because of your extensive tactical knowledge.
Yes.
I was fair to Lump before because I didn't make Lump just crush this woman into the wall. I do want to point out that if you skewer this guy this jester who's trying to push the old man in the well, there is the possibility you might knock both jester and old man into the well. So I just wanted to throw that out there because of your extensive tactical awareness.
You're saying that Regina has this kind of tactical awareness after she's being offered to push a jester into the well?
Not entirely. I'm happy to have you make that attack. And it might not happen. It may just require you both to think quickly.
Well, I'm just gonna catch him. So it's
It's fine. All right, go ahead and make your attack.
Should
then.
should
If
the
this doesn't
jester
work, I got a graveyard.
it's a plus. If that happens, Regina is gonna deal with that in that moment, but she's not gonna plan for it. Maybe the jester will just leave the old man when getting pushed into the well or skewered or whatever is gonna happen.
We're sorry about what
jester.
happened to you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab my spear with both hands and charge.
We didn't know that was on your bucket list.
Okay, so I just haven't done
And
this
here
for a
come the
while.
war crimes, everyone.
This is my melee.
What happened to
with
this old man? Well, it's a
spear
long
with
story.
agility, so that is plus 6. Do I have I just need to check out because I've got 2-handed master and 2 weapon fighting, and I need to see if I've overlooked anything.
Okay.
But I don't think I have.
I wish I wasn't stuck in this well.
That is just for damage. And that is if I was using the small spears, but I'm not using it. I'm gonna use my big one for this. Haha.
Not the big spears.
It's the big spear.
Not the big spears.
The big Spears.
The big spears. The comfy
that
chair.
is-
Brittany Spears.
3d6 plus aspect plus 2. Clickety boo. Roll. That's not too bad.
That
but I'm
is
gonna.
an 8. Go ahead.
But I think just in case something bad happens, I'm gonna switch the 1 for my 6 that I still have, and push this up to 23.
Okay, so you move the 1 to what?
I changed the 1 to a 6.
Oh, you changed it to a 6. Okay. So 23. Okay, not
Because I'm technical.
right.
You said so.
I want to make sure you weren't switching it to a doubles on the other one. You were doing for 6. Okay. So 23. So yes, that is a success. It is a standard success. So what that means is that you hit for full damage, but your opponent will hit you for half damage. Not unlike what happened to Lump recently. So go ahead and make your damage roll against this terrible thing.
That is plus 1d6 plus 9. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm sorry, Regina. I forgot that,
sorry.
as you will all recall, I boosted the threat of the jesters for this turn using the power of Dark Fate. So I'm sorry, that does not hit. Oh, but you changed it to 23. Good call.
Yes, I did.
Never mind. I take that all back a second time. You did hit it because
Yes,
of that.
I did
So
hit it.
good call. You did hit it. So it is a standard success. All right.
And I hit it for 13 damage.
Wow, very nice.
We're getting
Okay.
that a lot for damage rolls tonight.
Yeah, really. That
Wish I
has been
was.
no problem with those dice rolls. Okay, so yes, you slam into it, and sort of like right up against the wall, and the thing. All right, and so a couple things to note. First of all, it is going to do in response to you. Only going to do 2 points of damage for half to 2. So 2 points of damage, which you could take both on your armor, Regina. So they'll bring you down to 5 out of 12, I think. So there's that. But then again, I'm going to, as its laughter continues, I'm going to use another light fate for this, leaving me with 1 light fate currently. Sorry, Dark Fate, not Light Fate. Dark Fate currently. And it and begins to do this maniacal laughter again. So I need a fortitude test from both you and from Reginald, please.
You know what's gonna happen now, because this hasn't happened before, but Regina actually has fortitude with a focus and endurance. It's finally
This is your
Exactly.
moment.
Exactly. I've
Before
been,
you roll 3 ones.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I have Jack and shit, and Jack left town.
So, plus resolve. So it's 3d6 plus resolve plus 2 actually. So finally something.
I'll let this go first.
yep.
So it's plus
Yeah, after this
5.
build up.
I'm just so happy that I
I
can
know
finally
it's true.
use
It's like, I
it.
can endure.
Because I've got this with a focus and it never came up.
Yep. See?
Finally. So roll. It's only 2 ones. I could change the last 6 to another 1 though. No, I can't actually. I can't. Tactician doesn't allow me.
Also, I
because
can't
this
help
is
but
not-
notice that that's a 1, so thanks for that extra Dark Fate back there.
Yeah, I'm here to serve. So 13.
So 13. I'm sorry to say that 13 is not going to do it, despite your awesomeness
Still
of the
gonna
endurance.
sit here and be happy that finally I can use this.
Endurance worked, even though it didn't actually work. Okay, Reginald, I need that from you as well.
Okay.
You are 2/3 the prophet, Bruce, I know.
7.
Yeah, right. So, about all of that,
Quendel's the only one.
as the two of these, both of you are filled with absolute terror at this thing as it maniacally laughs at you, staring at you with blood red eyes. Regina, I would think that you're probably reminded of the creatures, a creature that you have been unable to destroy or defeat. Perhaps, I don't know if you would be thinking about no, that was really more of a lump thing. I was thinking about the thing from the previous adventure where you were destroying. You tell me, do you have an idea of like what Regina would see?
Regina is actually reminded of another court jester
Okay.
at the Sealy course who made fun of her for not being as smart and cunning as the other Fae.
Perfect.
And laughing, and everybody laughing and laughing and laughing. Is he falling into the well? We didn't talk about that.
He slammed into the side. He did not fall into the well.
Damn it.
You think that you probably would have been able to do it next round if you were not terrified of this one that reminds you so much of that Sealy court jester. I love it. Meanwhile, Reginald, you are also terrified. I'm curious why. Why exactly are you terrified of this jester?
Ghouls are an easy target for rotten vegetables when they're walking down the street.
I see.
He's
see.
had that happen a lot, and yeah.
I see. So you are reminded of multiple rotten vegetables that have come your way. So just to be clear, chat, as we get ready to move into the next round, 3 out of our 4 heroes are terrified of these creatures. Only Hweddle is like, what's wrong with all of you? Like everyone else is just okay. As we move into the next round, and I will note for the record that I am again using my last Dark Fate, last for the moment anyway, to increase their threat again. Although that does mean that I won't be able to proc this other ability at least. So, okay. Just make sure I know what that is. Okay,
Just
good. Got it.
imagine the jesters just like popping open, smelling salts, just like, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's. So top of the round again. I guess the better way to do this is to continue to break it up into these groups. So we'll start with Lump and Weddle, and you two can decide what order you want to go in. What do you want to do? Because at the moment, Lump, you're just like, again, you're not incapacitated. You could leave, but you do not want to attack this thing. And then Weddle, you are okay, obviously. So what would the two of you like to do?
How sturdy does the wall look behind it?
Hard to say. It definitely looks a little bit. You could see cracks in it for sure.
Okay. Can I shout at the woman behind the jester to run away?
You can try to do that. You don't know whether the woman will. She looks pretty terrified. You know the feeling.
Yeah. So my plan is try and ignore the jester as much as I can, shout at the woman to run away, and kick the wall as hard as I can at the base so that it maybe wobbles some bricks off and hits the jester.
That's not
probably going to hit myself.
The only thing is, though, that the jester is in between you and the wall. So
is it a really narrow alleyway?
It's pretty narrow. Now you might be now. Having said that, you could probably get just to the side, but it's going to put you in a very bad tactical position momentarily, Lump. I'm not saying that's you're not like sacrificing your life or something, but it would put you in a bad tactical position if you want to get close enough to kick the wall. I think you could do that, but then you'd be sort of setting yourself up if that is a concern to you. So.
No, he'd do it. He would.
Okay.
He would try and attack it without attacking it, and he'd try and definitely make sure that woman got away. So if then he got around one side of the jester, and the jester was like, "I'm gonna kill you," he's not looking behind him, so the woman can then scoot around.
We'll see how that works when we get there. That makes sense to me. Weddle, what about you?
Would Weddle have put two and two together that the laughter has caused the terror, or would it just seem like it's just some creepy laughter and not necessarily like an ability or something?
I think, Weddle, it's reasonable to say that for someone like you who knows something about performance and things like this seems more than your average, ordinary, everyday laughter. The thing is doing that most of the time anyway. It practically, but what it did there was definitely kind of a, like it was definitely stepping it up, and Lump right afterwards was like, oh, so you think you can put two and two together.
All right. Can Weddle shout, don't listen to the jesters, and then shove two sheets of paper in his ears?
Oh, interesting.
He has two sheets of paper,
no,
but
I
it's
believe
just
it.
like he's got the rapier in his hand, so we'd have to like do something with that, and then so I don't know if that's
like sort of, plant the rapier in the ground, quickly do the thing. I think you can do that. That'll take up your entire action, your turn to do it, but I think you could do that.
Yeah, maybe it'll be worth it in the long term.
Okay.
Okay,
that makes sense to me. All right, and then Regina and Reginald, what order are the two of you going to go? And also, what do you want to do? Since you're both terrified.
So Regina actually puts her hands over her ears to not listen to the laughter. She has tears in her eyes, and she backs away from the jester, just shouting no, no, no.
Okay, fair enough. What about Reginald?
Reginald's backing off, but a green dog's appearing nearby and is charging at the jester.
Ah, yes. I was wondering about that. That makes sense.
Sick in boots.
Okay. The return of Boots. Okay. All right. Boots away. All right. Let me just mark that down quickly.
Wow, since we've had the ghost dog.
I know. Okay.
He's been chilling. He's suddenly got just fading out of some ghost meat that he was eating. He's just eating the same bit. He's just, it's like the typical ghost dog thing, falls out of the stomach, goes round in a circle.
Yeah,
it's the same bit again.
It's the best
Yeah,
ever.
absolutely. Yeah. I imagine this works out really thematically well because we've got Weddle and myself in the alleyway, sort of fighting with the jester, and we've got yourself and Regina sort of terrified by the jester. So everything looks really bleak and horrible and grim, and then out of the darkness,
Yeah. Just slow-mo, but totally silently. Just
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. It's,
I'm just
I
hoping to
wish I could animate.
distract the jester or something. I don't know. I'm just sticking boots on him.
I love it. Okay, let us start with the lump Weddle moment then. Let's see. So we have I guess Lump is going to try to do that slam the wall thing. Did we decide if Weddle was going to go before Lump to do this or after?
We didn't decide.
Okay. It doesn't really matter because Weddle is just going to be doing the stuffing the papers in the ears thing anyway, I think.
I'd say do that before so that it doesn't, if I'm then stuck around the other side of the jester or something, it doesn't mean that Weddle then has to go past the jester.
Okay.
So maybe Weddle goes first, then I go
That's fair.
second.
Because that doesn't even require a check, Weddle. You're able to do that without any difficulty. And so now...
What?
Exactly. You're like, usually these two... old man tufts of hair coming out, except it's paper out of the ears. Right. Okay. Weddle is able to do that after shouting, don't listen to the jesters. Lump, that leaves us to you. So you yell at this woman. So I think...
Well, yeah, it's a very chaotic situation, isn't it? So I'm thinking it's more of a scramble round the jester, and I'm more like, go, move, run.
Right. So what I was wondering was... How are you, in what way, I don't want to tell you how to play your person, how are you trying to convince this person? Are you trying to persuade? Or are you trying to get out of the way, intimidate type of thing?
Normally he would go for accidental intimidation. But right now I think he doesn't have the heart to be intimidating.
Okay.
So it's more like a plead, so it'd be persuade, which I don't have a focus in, but it makes more sense.
Okay, let's do it that way then. So we're looking at, do you have persuasion as a skill?
No.
All right, so just 3d6.
Yeah.
Remember, you have bonus dice, though.
That is true. Is that for the rest of the campaign?
No.
Or?
It is for this situation with the jesters.
I
Not
see.
your specific
Tonight.
combat here, but I'm saying in general, dealing with the jester
I
problem.
see. Well, we'll see how this goes first.
Okay.
36. Not fantastic. That was an 11, and you also get Dark Fate.
Thank you.
To turn them into mega jesters.
Return of the Fate. There it is. Okay.
They get grow a tiny little finger puppets of jesters on the ends of all of their fingers.
That's awful. Okay, so so the woman, so you say that, and the woman's like, he's gonna, she's not even coherent. She sort of goes to the right and then sees you're there, and then goes to the left, and then the jester, and she's just terrified. Instead, she just sort of huddles up at the base of the wall.
Okay. Lump is still going to try and kick the wall.
Okay. I'm going to have you make, I think, what would be a strength test here, is what I'm thinking. Let me see if there's a specific one, though. Particular skill. Athletics, I would take.
Quick question.
Yes.
Does armor points bestowed on friends within reach class to NPCs?
If the NPCs are allied with you in combat, if you had your orc friend, your orc bard friend, who was hanging out with you, yes. But I would rule that if it's just this person who's on the street, you can't really classify
Not
them
Belinda, the villager,
right.
sort of thing. Okay.
Right.
Fine. But sorry, what was the strength check I need to do?
So it would be, I would think athletics is what, if you have athletics, would be the one.
I believe so. I have athletics. Yes. We're focusing climbing though, so.
Yeah, I think.
This is me. I'm kicking the wall.
Right, that's why I'm trying to decide what was the best thing. Yeah, you know what? Let's say melee. Let's say melee. I think that's reasonable. Athletics is not quite right.
Does it count as barehanded?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, barefooted in this case.
I'm
but-
kind of pleased and not pleased, considering that woman didn't get out of the bloody way.
Yeah.
All right. So this is essentially a normal attack, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Except this thing will, Well, we'll see about the success.
Except
and
it's a
failure.
stationary object.
Yeah.
Oh, my dice rolls are dire tonight. Oh my god.
Stop
16.
rolling dice.
2
So
out
I'm
of
just
4.
gonna give
Dark
up.
Fate.
I'm just chime me in for the RP bits. I'll be all right.
Now, the good news about this, in a way, is that your foot hits the wall solidly, and there are a couple of rocks that rain down, and the woman shrieks as she sits there at the base of the wall, sort of holding over. But the good news is that the wall, I guess good news, that the wall doesn't actually collapse on either her or the jester, but you see the cracks have widened significantly. So your guess, Lump, is that if you do this again, that it probably would come crashing down.
Okay. Thank you.
So that is that. That's going to lead us to Weddle. Weddle's already done the thing with the paper and the stuff. So that's that's all taken care of. So Regina and Reginald. Okay, so we have now. I forgot to ask if Regina was going first or if we have Boots with Reginald going first before any of that.
Boots with Reginald, I'd say.
It's going to be a case of me pulling back while Boots goes forward. So, yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I don't really know how this works. I'm just hoping to like distract the jester, or I don't know, break concentration, or get him to let go of the old man, or some sort of response by nipping at his ankles.
Okay. Well, so I think we set this as a follower, as a dog follower,
Okay, yeah.
not as a ghost.
Oh no, spirit follower. Spirit
follower. That okay. That's what I was trying to decide. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Because they also have things like psychic shield and stuff like that. I'm trying to think if this thing could, if this follower can do this exactly. So
Okay.
because what you've used Boots before to act as an insubstantial scout.
Yeah.
Spending loyalty, and you can also use him as someone that will shield you in combat. I'm trying to think if you could actually have it damaged. This is what I'll offer you, okay, Reginald? This is slightly outside the rules, but I think
This
it's
is a
reasonable in
devil's
this
bargain.
context. It is the devil's bargain, basically.
Oh, God.
If you are willing to spend 2 loyalty, normally it takes 1 loyalty, 2 loyalty, I will allow you to have Boots attack this creature. So basically, as if he's doing psychic combat himself. It will use up 2 loyalty, though. And remember, once he gets to 0 loyalty, then there's other problems that happen, because I think he starts with 3 is where he's sitting here right now. So that's what I will offer as an option.
I'm going to do it. His strength of will is just going to manifest physical, actual teeth to jump at the jester with.
Logical. Okay, so in that case, let me have him. So I don't know whether a spirit. I'm going to say that a spirit would have a focus in this. So 3d6 plus the aspect for it, which would be wits. Although in the case of a,
Yeah, I don't have a wit score for him.
let's say that he's using your wits.
Okay. And then a +2 as well, you said, yeah? Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Alrighty then.
Down to 1 loyalty though.
Yes. Do I burn the light fate?
Or the bonus
I'm gonna
die.
burn the light. I'm gonna burn the light fate. I'm gonna leave the bonus die for the group.
Okay.
I've still got a light fate. Sod it. Go on, Boots. No guts, no glory. Are you kidding me?
Wow. 3 ones.
I'm getting a migraine.
Okay.
The curse is lifted.
First of all, thanks for the dark fate. So I'm sorry to say that does not hit. So that is a failure, which means that I get to do some things. I think that what this means is that think he's going to be able to inflict some psychic damage on Boots. Yeah. Okay. Psychic damage.
We're definitely at the point now where if we had physical dice and we were playing around a table right now, we just have like a whole, okay, somebody brought a cursed die to
Oh,
the
yeah.
table.
Dice jail.
It's spread.
Oh, the dice jail
That's
will be
it. All the
overflowing
dice
right
are
now.
going into
Yep.
dice jail.
Totally
and
dice jail.
Fresh bags out, sealed containers. that
Yeah.
go
5
Someone will be
points of
smudging
psychic
the
damage
table.
to Boots, Reginald. Which leaves him with what, by the way, just so I'm clear? Because he has health, I believe. You're muted.
Yeah, it's never been noted down on my sheet how much health he has.
Okay. He'll go. You can take. Go ahead and figure that out while we're moving on. But he took 5 damage, in psychic damage there, and he's down to 1 loyalty. That was a great moment. It's just sadly the dice were not on board, with the moment. I am sorry to say, which happens sometimes. Okay. So that was Reginald using Boots. Regina, you see Boots sort of leap up and then essentially sail past without having damaged the Jester, who is still laughing maniacally. You are not able to attack the Jester this round, remember, but you could do other things if you wish.
Okay, so like I said, Regina actually starts tearing up.
Boots
like,
is dead.
Covers her here.
Is dead?
5 HP.
Oh fuck!
No, we went on a whole quest for Boots.
No. Not like this. Not like this.
Oh,
Well-
hang on. When your familiar falls to 0 life, or when you spend an action to dismiss it, it dissipates. As a full action, you can spend 1 spell point to make it reappear.
All right,
by
that's
your
what I
side.
thought. I didn't actually think
wait.
of that.
Kinnick, oh
Way
my
to
gosh.
bury the lead.
Because I was like,
Lord.
because I was like, I gotta go with it. I can't be that guy. Okay. Exactly what we're surprised.
Can we put Saber in the dice
Woo.
jail for
Oh my
scaring us all?
Dark Saber almost became incredibly dark.
Yeah.
Okay, so Regina. So Boots does dissipate. So yes,
Yeah,
Regina.
so I just got like massively re-traumatized. Then I saw Boots disappear. So Regina is not in a good headspace right now for a moment. There, like I said, she's like tearing up, covering her ears, like just shouting no, no, no. And actually, they're trying to get away. So I maybe like shoot up, like 5 meters into the air or something like that.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, you do so with the same, you feel like the Jester is almost tracking you as it does this. As you do
How's
this.
the old man doing? By the way?
Not well, because the Jester is, since you have moved up there, the Jester is getting ready to do what he's going to do.
I cannot attack the Jester, but I could attack the old man, right? I mean,
Yes.
I'm not like...
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab the other arm, and I'm just gonna try to pull the old man away from the Jester.
Oh, okay. I really thought for a minute you're just like, well, any port to storm, just javelin to the old man. I was like, all right. Well.
Still like shouting no, 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 and like trying to pull the old man away from the Jester.
Okay. Let me have you make, oh boy, what do I call this? I guess this is really
How strong is the old man?
not strong.
Okay, cool.
Not
if you
strong.
guys are both incredibly strong, he's going to get popped like a balloon.
It's humans, you never know
It's
before you try.
It's one less
Yeah,
human,
it's
it's
like-
fine.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a strength check, what I think, or strength skill test, but what I'm trying to figure out is, it's not really melee.
Athletics, maybe? Sleight of hand. I'm just trying to like steal him away.
Sleight
I'm still
of
trying
hand.
to steal him
Gonna
away.
bundle him under your arm or something. Just
I think
like,
the
"I've
fact
got
that you're
him now."
shouting no, no, no at the same time. Let's
That's
say
distraction.
athletics. But let's say athletics, but I don't think you're going to have a focus in anything that would be related to this, because it's
No, I don't have.
Grab old
I
man
don't have
is
a
not
I don't
on.
have a focus in athletics. I have athletics as a base skill, plus strength. You say yes?
that's right.
Okay. Then it's 3d6 plus 6. There we go, my old man. Wow.
Okay, let's see. 13. I'm going to make this, technically this isn't a function for this, but I'm going to do it in
God,
this
our
case.
rolls.
I tried.
No, two's
Roll
better
That's-
than ones.
Yeah,
We're
that
going
actu-
up.
Yeah.
That's actually okay. So you do grab the old man, and there's this horrifying, like, you're not sure what exactly has cracked, whether it's his back, his arm, his bones, you don't know. But you have pulled the old man away. What are you going to do with the old man, though? Because you can't fly with him.
No. I'm just
Lock him
dragging
in
him
your
away.
friend's
I'm
bedroom.
just dragging him. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm going away from the jester with this old man backwards.
Put him with the wizard.
I've got a great wizard to show you. Come here, let me introduce you to a wizard.
You're just dragging this man.
like
His
this,
boots bouncing on the
backwards.
cobblestones.
You're gonna be known as the human catcher at this point. He's gonna be like, he's gonna steal humans.
Oh man.
This is not the reputation we wanted.
It was a
is
great
it?
success. I've got a double 2, so this is what a great success on an old human looks like. I'm fine with this.
I have this image of like Reginald looking at it and being like, "My God, the jester has turned her. She's become the." No, just kidding. Okay,
Reginald's
so
thinking, I'm gonna get the blame for that.
that's my bad.
So
Possibly,
Regina is
okay.
like crying, shouting, and dragging the human away.
Okay, so that is a success in that regard, and that's
Yes,
going
that
to bring
is-
us up to that is going
Just
to bring
run
us up
away
to
with
the,
your comfort human.
your comfort you. That's up the next round. So now the question is, what is the party going to do as things are getting a little hairy down here?
Well, I haven't got dice jail, but I've changed my dice color. That's the best I
Oh, I
can
might do that as well. actually.
That's something. You were supposed to fight evil, not join it. Yeah, exactly.
My comfort human.
Your comfort human, you just run away. It's like a comfort plushie. You're just like, no, I'm sad. Give me this comfort human. I need a comfort grandpa. Come here.
I need a comfort grandpa. Meanwhile, you just hear because his bones are, as
Yeah.
oh my
But for
god.
one split second, it will feel amazing, and after that, he will be dead.
Right,
But,
exactly. Thank you. I've been hoping to crack that
Oh,
barrel.
my lumbago is my neck.
All right, let's start with Lump and Weddle in the alleyway.
All right.
Lump and Weddle, the good news is that your fear has passed now, so you are able to attack this thing if you want. Though I am going to notify you that I am indeed using Dark Fate again at the beginning of this round to pump up the jesters, as in accordance with the prophecy. Okay. So, but with that
Great,
said,
now I have bump up the jam in my head. Thanks for that.
pump up the old man. Pump up the old man. So, you're up. What would you like to do, Lump and Weddle, and who wants to go in what order?
Oh God! Right. If I explain what my convoluted plan was, then Weddle can find out whether or not you want to go first or second.
Okay.
Right. Grab human. We're not starting the trend. We're not 100% not starting the trend.
It seems like
alright?
we're starting a trend.
Right.
Everyone, grab a human.
Grab a human. We've got a room to fill. Grab human in presumably she's not as large as Lump, right?
No.
Grab human and she is bundled up. Grab human in bundle. Pick wall. Get on floor. Protect
Okay.
human with body.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So cradle, kick, collapse.
Weddle, what about you?
Which human are you gonna grab?
Well, I don't have a human to grab, so I'm going to shish kebab jester.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense. Do you want to go before Lump then? Like shish kebab first?
Yes.
Okay. So Weddle, shish kebab, Lump, grab and cover. Stop, drop, and roll, so to speak.
Yeah.
Then meanwhile, Reginald and Regina, as Regina pulls her comfort human along the ground. What is Reginald? What are Reginald and Regina going to do? Regina, what are you doing with this comfort human? Are you going to be like, you're safe now, and then just drop him in a ditch, or like, what are you going to do with him?
So, the effect of the laughter is dissipating? Is this
Yes,
what's happening?
the fear is gone. Yes, the fear is gone.
Okay, so Regina slowly stops pulling the human then looks at the human,
Meh.
looks at the jester, looks at the human,
Meh.
lets the human go,
Are they a ghost?
clears her throat, points at the human and say, "Don't forget that I saved you," and goes to attack the jester again.
Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Stay.
Reginald, what about you?
I think I will go after Regina, since I would probably see a spear going. So I'll go last.
Regina comes back with the granddad.
Yeah.
Puts him back by the well.
Yeah, so from my point of view, I've seen Boots go like that, disappear behind the well, and not come back. I've seen a grandpa being dragged by a tiny sprite, and then a spear coming back that direction.
Oh, God.
But yeah, well, if you don't get him down the well, Regina, a gust of wind might do the trick. So I'll go after you.
Okay. Hi, what's up, Infinity Simplex? All right, let's start in the alleyway. Okay, Weddle Shish Kebab first. So we're going to do a little bit of thing we like to call melee attack. So, and you do have you said you do have a focus, right? Or do you have you have the skill but not the focus, right?
Yep.
So 3d6 plus agility, we said.
Yep. I'm going to roll
Alright.
now.
So that's right now we're looking at a 14. Do you, again, you don't have to do this. Do you wish to, if you have light fate, I think you have, do you have a light fate left? You have light fate, which could adjust it. You also have a bonus die. Before I tell you whether it succeeds or fails, I want to know if you want to do any of that.
Yeah, remind me again what I can do with my light fate guy.
So Reginald just did this before. With light fate, I believe you can redo you can re-roll one of the dice, right? Is what it is, I believe, Saber? Is what you're able to do with the light fate?
Yeah, you can if it's a success.
Yep. Oh, if it's a success first, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can either choose to roll an extra die up front, or you can choose to re-roll
That's
a
right.
success die. Yeah.
Okay. So you can
to
roll.
try and turn a success into a great success.
Yeah, that's when I was like when I fished for a
Right,
double
I see.
So-
I see.
So yeah, that's right. So leaving that aside, then bonus die would be the only. Before I tell you if it succeeds or not, do you want to do the bonus die to
Would that,
increase the
like-
potential total?
Is everyone okay with me doing that?
Yeah, go for it. You're like one of the only people who can attack.
I think we can all attack this round.
Can
Last
we all
round
attack
was
this round?
the Last
Yeah,
round
yeah.
was the one that I was the only one
Interesting.
who could attack, and instead of
Interesting.
attacking, I put paper in my ears.
There.
It's like yeah.
Okay, so total of 3, 4, 3, and 4. That is a success now, and in fact, that is a great success. Not an extraordinary success, but a great success. So that means that you hit for full damage. It does not hit you. So
Nice.
go ahead and roll your damage on this thing, which is probably 1d6 plus something.
This is amazing. I think this is the first time that he's actually dealt damage to something with his rapier. Or maybe the second.
So
I think it's
whole
the second,
new
yeah.
world. Fantastic point of rapier.
See, damage. It always plus.
Oh, well, 10
Get
points.
me some mint sauce with this kebab.
10 points of
Oh.
damage. Yeah, you skewer it to the wall. This thing is very close to death. You can see like it's and sort of horrifically, Weddle, as you sort of have it pinned to the wall, it like even as like, you know, blood is burbling out of its mouth and it looks horribly, horrifically hurt. And that sets up nicely for Lump, who
I
as you
also
have
want
this, yeah.
Weddle, as he stabs it, to just be really up close, like like that, and just be like, "That's for scaring my friend." And,
Ooh,
yeah.
nice.
Nice.
Does not like any of that. Okay, Lump, so that leads us to you, and I believe you said grab woman,
Yes.
duck and cover.
Now, does Lump know that he's no longer afraid of this thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes.
He definitely he
Definitely does
knows
know that, yes.
that all of that terror has washed away from him.
Yes.
Then I'm just gonna double axe handle it.
Okay, yeah, you definitely
Just
would know
normal
that.
attack.
It was unnatural to begin with. You're not entirely sure
am-
why you were, afraid.
That's fine. I am thinking of D&D fear rules, like it can last a
Right.
number of times.
Yeah, no,
or
this
like you have to counter it with something. So
that's right, or like saving throws. But no, this is just
Yes.
it dissipates that
that's
next
fine.
round.
That's cool. Then I will just, in that case, thematically, I will spin round and try and just put my fist through it as it's speared to the actual wall.
Okay.
3d6 plus that, which is this. Please, God, let this work. 14.
14. Well, before I say anything, do you want to use a bonus die? I swear I'm not leading you into anything, but you see the 2 ones for yourself.
Oh, I can't use the light fate now. I've already rolled, can I?
Right.
Damn. What's the group consensus about using bonus die?
You have 2 left.
2 left, and we're not sure what's after this, but
That's very true. No, I'll live with it.
Okay. That is sadly not a success. That's because of the boost in
Yep, I assumed as much.
threat that it took, I'm sorry to say. Okay, so unfortunately that does not work, which means it is a failure, which means that... it does not, because that's right. It did not get to act against you because Hweddle successfully prevented it from doing so when Hweddle shish kebabbed it to the wall. So that's good. It is not dead, but at least it cannot hit you back for damage. Okay, so now you were standing there, things looking somewhat more hopeful. Regina and Reginald, you are up. So Regina, were you going before Reginald was, or was it the other way around?
I'm going before Reginald was.
So right, so you lead, as I recall, let me just make sure that I got this right. This is the order that I was told. Regina brings the old man over, drops him in a heap, says, remember
Don't
that
forget that I saved
don't
you."
forget that I saved you. And then you turn around and go flying back with great fury and furious anger at
Yes.
the jester. Okay, I love
Lots
it.
of furious anger.
Let's see the melee attack.
Okay.
Reginald hears an unfortunate cracking sound as you drop the old man on the cobblestones.
I didn't lift him up a lot. I couldn't lift him up. You told me so. So it was like dragging him along. Well, if it's broken, it's broken. So what did I say? Agility 6 plus 8. That was 3d6 plus 8. I couldn't click on reroll here. Let's do this. Wow, I feel like I'm so good at rolling today. Okay, I'm gonna drop the 3 for a 6.
Which
there.
is your last one of those, right? Your tactical
I
deals?
still have the 1 left.
Oh, you have the one left. Okay, so, right, that's right. Okay.
I still have the 1 left, so this goes up by another 3, then up to 18.
That will hit, thanks to that boost. So, okay, so that means you can now, and that is also a great success because of the doubles. So that means it will not hit you back. So you just get to hit it. You also hit it a lot the first time. It's just then it freaked you out because of what it was doing.
12.
Yeah, okay. You basically just like slam the it goes back over the wall, and as it falls down the well, you hear and then just silence.
some
Regina
say
looks
you
at
can still hear him laughing.
Regina looks at Reginald and she does not look good in the face.
Reginald's just like,
Okay. There are now, let me just mark down 2 bonus dice for that. Okay, great. All right, so that one is taken care of, Regina. Reginald, that leaves us to you.
well, with that one disposed of, and the sounds of merry destruction coming from an alley, that sounds like Lump has things well in hand, and I don't need to think about it any harder. I'm going to look at the old man and that unfortunate snapping noise and give him a healing check.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'd like to point out I'm walking up to an old man in my robe with my side.
I'm here to help.
It's time.
I will
For me to
ease
administer some
your
healing.
pain.
Yeah, exactly.
With this healing kit.
There comes a time in all our lives when we must be healed.
So yeah, I'll do a healing check on the old man, make
Okay.
sure anything I can treat, or at least he's not life threatened.
Okay.
Okay, so
I know I've done already a lot this turn, but can I still like shout at Reginald?
I think you're a little occupied with dealing with the guy
Okay.
falling down the well
Okay.
and enjoying the sound of the doof, 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 doof.
I'll shout at Reginald next turn then.
Reginald, so
he's old.
yeah,
He's going to die soon.
Reginald's just like, let me, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't need that.
This way, please. Just down the road.
The man is terrified and then seems to faint. You don't know Reginald, but you're pretty sure you've seen better.
Yeah, I kind of look around and just sidle away from the body before anyone sees
I was waiting for you to be like, I bring him over to the well. Never talk about this again. Just jump right in there. Okay.
Now we need lump for plausible deniability.
Absolutely. Okay, that brings us
that's my
to that brings us to the top of the round with Lump and Hweddle. You now have this exceedingly hurt shish kebabbed jester that is staring you in the face. I will again be boosting with the power of Dark Fate this remaining creature.
I'm just going to try and punch it in the mouth.
Okay. Hweddle, what about you? Are you going to shish kebab again?
No, Hweddle's gonna let Lump deal with it.
Okay, what are you going to do then?
Or can Hweddle assist by like holding the guy still because he's still kebabbed to the wall? They're like
in
holding
fact,
the.
you can assist. And if you assist, you must have an appropriate skill. When you're assisting, you roll 1d6, and if it's equal to or lower than the skill you're using to assist, you add the number on the die to the other character's roll. So the question is, how are you assisting? Like, what's the skill? How do you want to pitch your assisting your good friend Lump?
I'm looking through the list of skills. Like, artisan, no. Animal handling, no. Decipher, no. Deception, entertain, no. Empathy, law.
Just entertain. You just twang the sword.
Yeah.
I could absolutely see a deception in this. I mean, there's no question. You could deceive the jester.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to deceive the jester into thinking the attack's coming from me, but actually,
Okay, so you're going to basically feint, let's say, feint, feint. Okay, yes. All right, well then to do that, let's see. You would be using, so for deception, you need to roll 1d6, and we're going to see if the result is equal to or lower than that skill. What is your deception skill, if you were to, because it's the aspect that it's based on, which is probably wits, I'm guessing.
yeah,
so-
I have a focus in bluff.
No, because that's not what this is.
Let's see. Wits is for fast talking or confusing. Insight is for complex lies or to play on someone's emotions.
I'd say wits.
That's fine.
Which is what, by the way? What's that number?
Oh, 1.
1. So it would be, and you have a focus in the bluff, which doesn't work. So it would be 3. Okay. Well then, yeah. So you're looking to get equal to 1 or less.
And I just.
Oh, but no, it's actually okay. It's melee and agility. It has the melee skill and agility of 5, which means right. So then deception. So actually, deception is connected to wits. Oh, so your wits aspect is 1, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then yeah. Then it's got to be 1.
Okay, so.
So you're rolling a 1d6 and you're looking to get a 1 or less. I know that's not a lot. It's too bad.
Ah, darn it! The one time that I
wanted the low
want
roll.
to roll a 1.
Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, that's so Lump
Can
is
we
just
can we
going to,
swap it for the tactician
Then we-
one?
Yeah,
Is
I
there's
know,
a spare
right?
one rolling around somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Can you trade it
No.
between players? Not so much between characters.
Unfortunate.
All right, so Lump, I'm going to have you. Technically, we should have arranged all this ahead of time of the turn, but it's okay. So Lump, I will have you do your attack, but unfortunately not assisted by Hweddle on this one.
That's fine. We'll see what happens. 26.
God
and
bless
it's
America.
2 6s
That's-
and a 6 on the Kismet.
That's a great success. On
That's
all
just,
sorts
Lub
of
is
levels.
feeling much better.
Yeah,
He is feeling much better.
that is a great success. No damage will be taken by
Wow.
you. So let's see what that damage is like.
Okay, so that is this a great success? This is a great success.
It is a
isn't
great success.
Great success. Great asset. 6 on the Kismet. Yes, roll an extra that. Roll that. Do that. Do that. Okay, cool. Roll 2 plus that plus that. It's that. 16 points of damage.
Yeah, you just punch through him. You punch so hard that the fit just straight through. And the odd thing, Lump, is that I mentioned before that is sort of the bloodstain thing. But when you punch through him, the experience you have is not like, oh no, gobs of blood. It's turgid. It's as if you just punched through a
What a
uncooked
word.
cake. I think might be the way to unbaked cake is the way I would describe it. Like
So-
a thick kind of turgid blood.
Because of the way he feels about this and because of what he emotionally went through a few seconds ago, there's a moment just to jump out of this setting for a second, in one of the Avengers movies where Iron Man is trying to put the Hulk to sleep, and he's like, go to sleep, 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 go to sleep. He's just pummeling the stone at this point. He's basically just trying to work his way through the stone where the Jester was.
Yeah, and Weddle, you can see that Lump is doing that, and that the woman who is just huddled there is just not moving.
I imagine she's like, oh, thank you. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave.
Yeah, the Jester is just like obliterated. So the Jester is obliterated. Both the well is clear and the alleyway is clear. But you still hear shouts and shrieks from elsewhere in the city. I think you were all headed towards the harbor, but that is the direction you were going. You can still hear shrieks in that direction. You also do hear like answering horns and like the sounds of battle and stuff like that. So it seems like the guards and potentially, Regina, your gladiators have also been deployed properly and are trying to do what they can as well to fight this back. So technically we're, in quotes, out of combat. Not exactly. I want to know what I guess the four of you were doing.
It's a combat situation. There's no active targets.
Right.
Queddle, no hesitation. He's off towards the harbour again.
Okay.
Hunger! I'm coming!
Oh,
I hunger for the hunger!
Okay. So Weddle is just like booking
Ace,
it.
10 out of 10.
Races out of the alley. Lump, what are you doing? And then Regina and Reginald, as you sort of look around somewhat dazedly, you can see Weddle just books it through the square. Oh, God.
Yeah, maybe
this.
like 5 seconds later, Lump has realized that he's now alone just punching a wet stone. And so he's like, wait, where did Weds go? And he sort of runs out of the alleyway.
Okay. Regina, Reginald, what about you?
Regina looks what Reginald is doing, but not her human.
I'm a noticeable distance away from him now.
Not your
looking
human.
the opposite direction.
Your human is not moving.
Seriously? Oh no. Well, I shout at Reginald, what about Boots?
I don't know. I'll have to look into it later.
Well, Regina now waits until Reginald runs into a direction and then she's gonna follow.
Yeah, I guess we see like Queddle and then a confused Lump, and yeah, following them.
Okay. So the group of our four adventurers books it down the street, chasing three of them, chasing after Weddle, who is as if shot out of a cannon, speeding towards the harbor. You start hearing da 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 as Weddle is running through the road.
And his beard, like slow-mo, like...
Yeah. I imagine it was like flowing behind, you know.
no, it's a chunky, thick. It's
all
like
right.
slapping against
So
his
it's-
chest.
Jeez, okay. Absolutely. Sure. So as you are racing through, you see terrible things happening everywhere you look. There is, you hear from above you, die, you're all gonna die. And you look up and you see this jester doing cartwheels on the roof before an arrow hits him through the throat and die, and then and hits the street right by where Weddle, is racing.
Now that was funny.
There is you can see another couple of jesters that are sort of cartwheeling while doing attacks. One jester, as you race by them, is injured and is apparently spraying blood like everywhere, although it's this turgid blood, as I mentioned, and kind of cackling maniacally as they're doing this. It's not a pleasant sight. The guards, you can see, have started to rally, and a big part of this, Regina, is probably, as you can see, a number of your burly gladiator friends that are sort of like throwing jesters into walls, and and one of them is just like, I hate clowns, bro, and they'll punch them up into the next, right? And so the jesters are being sort of fought back, so it appears. But you arrive at the harbor, Weddle, and you can see that at first you think to yourself that maybe the sort of madness has not reached here to the harbor, because as you look around, you don't see anything in specific. And then you look over and you can just see that there are 4 motley caps, sort of with bells jingling, and 4 elevated skull scepters. And here I'd like you all to remember the classic from the Fellowship of the Ring film, in which the 5 Nazgul attackers close in on Frodo and Sam with their swords wide. Imagine that, except it's scepters, and you can just see, Weddle, a magnificent beard at the center of these 4. As they raise their cackling wildly. What are you trying to do, Weddle? Obviously, I know you're trying to rescue.
So they're they're surrounding him. They're raising their scepters. They're ready to.
Yeah.
How far away am I?
When you see this, probably a good 60 to 100 feet. He's also near the edge of the dock. It should be said, pointed out.
Oh my days. I don't even know what I can do. What can I do to save him?
War cry. Run and war cry.
Can I cast speed on myself and just keep
I might
running?
allow that. Do you have, how many points do you have left?
1.
Would he allow it? He asked himself.
I'm reminded of the headless enemies from Serious Sam that come running, screaming over the hill with 2 bombs in their hands. Just,
Yeah.
As we, all 4 of us just doing that as we charge forwards.
Because you can do this at a free action. Yes, I would allow this.
Are you taking the piss?
Okay. I need a spellcasting test from you, Weddle. I will allow you to do that. Because it's a free action as well. But you do need to pass the spellcasting test.
3d6 plus.
Oh, yeah.
Fury.
Yep, that is
When
a
it
that is a
counts.
great success. So you use your point, your spell point, and your speed increases. In fact, it increases. Your movement speed is doubled for a number of rounds equal to your craft. So your feet fairly fly over the road as Lump and Reginald and Regina arrive on the scene to see Weddle moving faster than you thought any dwarf minstrel could ever move, just booking over like the cobblestones towards a clearly a surrounded dwarf. Weddle, I think you're going to be able to get there. What are you going to do when you get there?
I'm just going to throw myself over Umga and take whatever blow they're going to cast down on him.
So you're going to basically ram into the circle and then like sort of ducking, like cover him. Okay. Okay. Well, let's add the surprise factor. I will
And
have
as
you.
I'm doing it,
Yes.
shout, "Will you have dinner with me later? Because I might die, and I wanted to ask before I die."
So you ask the date while running through the
Yeah.
round of. Okay.
If we
Anchor,
survive,
will you
this-
have dinner with me later?
All right. I'm gonna have you make a melee attack on this, please.
Everyone
Because
knows I'm great at them. Yeah.
Hey, you were earlier. You shish kebabbed Jester to the wall.
true.
I think that was plus agility. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, so 2 bonus dice, right?
I mean, I don't think I can justify it. I just have to fail.
I think for this moment you probably could. This is a lot more cinematic than punching a jester in an alleyway. Do you know what I mean?
Alright, fine. If people insist. Gonna use our special powers to save my not even a boyfriend. I hope that was worth it.
Well, it actually, believe it or not, it ends up working out because it ends up being a great success because of the doubles, despite everything. So you do.
Oh, and I get a
slam
light
into
fate
them.
back.
You do.
For the Kismet, yeah, that's right. So you slam into these things. Okay, I would like you to roll. I'm going to have you roll your damage, and we're going to have you do that. Actually, wait a minute. I forgot where they were. Lovely. I'm going to have you roll your damage 4 times, Weddle, because you're going to run into all 4 of them, and I'm going to explain what happens as a result of this in just a minute.
Oh, beautiful.
What sort of damage do I do by running into
You
them?
would be, I think, at your speed. I mean, I'm trying to think of what a typical weight of a dwarf going at top projectile speed would probably do. Let's say 1d6 plus. What's your brawn?
0.
Yeah, but the speed. What's your and then your okay. We'll do this. This is way out of the norm, but half speed. So what's your normal speed? What would your speed be?
14.
14. So 1d6 plus 7. Yes, that works. 1d6 plus 7.
6, yes. 7. I do that 4 times.
Yeah.
12, 10, 11, 9.
Okay.
9, 10, 11, and 12.
Bam,
Oh,
bam, bam,
yeah.
bam, bam. So you slam into these creatures so hard that you send all 4 of them and you and Unger flying over the side of the dock. And you go into the water. And you have this very disturbing sight, Weddle, of seeing a bunch of these red-eyed, cackling, like, cackling underwater. But their motley weighs them down. And eventually there is just this moment where you are under the water and you can see you're sort of like, yeah, exactly, your beard flowing. And then a strong hand reaches down. It's weathered and with some dark red hair on the back. And it reaches down to you.
I'm imagining that scene from Lord of the Rings as well, you know.
Can't imagine
the
why.
hands coming down.
Yes, exactly. So do you grab the hand?
I grab the hand.
Okay. So, and then pulling you up, you see, is Unger, who is grabbing onto one rope that is tied around one of the pilings on the dock. I would remind everyone in chat, in case you're like, that's convenient. This is the harbor master. He's been around docks his entire existence. So holding on to the rope, he is holding on to Weddle as Regina, Reginald, and Lump come up to the side of the dock. And Unger looks down at you, Weddle, and his eyes twinkle, and he says, it would depend on what you like for dinner. And as you all sort of come up, you hear several horns sounding in the distance. and the horns that are sounding are the sounds of challenge, and it's not the all clear sign, it's the sort of press the advantage horn from the city guard. And you can see the people sort of running down some of the docks, and the guards running towards them. You think that the jesters may have been put to flight, or at least stopped. At this point, Regina, Reginald, and Lump, you come up, as I said, and you see that Unger is hanging on to the dock with Weddle barely hanging on to Unger.
Do you think the pieces of paper will have flown out of
Yes.
my ears
Yes,
as I
I
was
do.
running?
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
good. I was just
I think-
wondering if I heard.
Are they like nice and damp? Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Oh man, I missed it. So he just says, and you're like, what does that mean? Oh, I missed such an opportunity. But no, I think it would have been flying out of your ears anyway. At that speed, I don't, I don't think you damaged your eardrums by stuffing them in that far. So, okay. So Lump, was that the universal sign for I pick up several dwarves and bring them? Okay. So you do that. 2 dripping wet dwarves. And then silence reigns again, although there are still shouts and uncertainties and things like that. And you sort of look at them, and Unger is sort of like breathing heavily, as is Weddle, just sort of lying on their backs on the dock as you look down at them, Reginald and Regina and Lump.
I think we should go.
Yeah, maybe we should go over there.
Looking at
Weddle
Weddle-
wants to ask Unger what kind of dinners he likes. What's his favourite food?
Are the clowns in the harbour still alive?
Are the what?
Are the clowns in the harbour still alive?
You don't think so? You don't see
Okay.
them? Yeah, you don't think so?
Regina turns away, then quickly pats Weddle's shoulders. Just remember why you cannot bring him home. And then she very secretly goes.
And
Lump is like really, really focused on that wall over there. He's just like, oh, this is interesting. I'm gonna be over here.
Reginald, what about you?
I'm going to discuss brickwork with Lump.
All right,
Fascinating.
as the three of you do that, Weddle Unger explains that partial to some spicy food, but he says, I'm not sure if that's okay. Perhaps you're not really into that right now. It's been quite a night. Perhaps comfort food would be better. He kind of sort of like says, I mean, thank you also for saving me. I am surprised you came back so fast. I'd never seen anyone move with that kind of speed.
Oh, I could be very fast. I like spicy fast. I mean, food. I like food fast, spicy. Yeah, spicy's good.
You're sure?
I'm just going to check. I think he likes spicy food.
He nods. He says, all right, well, so I don't think there's going to be any place open right now, given what just happened. But perhaps, shall we say, tomorrow night? Is that all right?
Yeah, I should still be in town tomorrow night. Yeah, could do. If you do, I'm not, super local around here these days. I'm sure the new restaurants have opened since I lived in the city last. So, I can trust any recommendation that you might have. Tomorrow's great. Tomorrow's good. Yes.
He sort of nods. He says, all right, then we'll do that. And thank you. Well, do you need a towel or dry clothes or something? As he's looking, as you're just dripping wet,
Yeah, a towel would be nice. Thank you. That's so thoughtful of you.
Right. I'll just grab it from one of the crates. Just hang on a second, and kind of continues to give you this kind of bemused expression. Goes down to the end of the dock, and opens one of the crates and comes back with this towel, which is kind of rough, but seems relatively clean. And he says, "These were going to be loaded on an outgoing ship, but well, I'm good for it. Here you go. What do you think those things were? What's going on here?"
Oh, well, there's a wooden talisman necklace. It's the one we were asking you about before. It's like this. If somebody wears it when they're sleeping, then their nightmares come true. So someone in the city is wearing that necklace, having nightmares about jesters, and then jesters are coming out to attack people. So we need to find whoever's got the necklace before tomorrow night. Or, well, we need to deal with this now. But, who knows what else could happen if somebody else is wearing the necklace tomorrow, or jesters again,
But you mean the talisman just only pulls up jesters?
No, we had the gargoyles before when the necklace was worn by somebody who was scared of gargoyles.
So
Then we had gargoyles.
So it's based on the people that are scared of things. So if you... I mean, what's going to happen then? What if someone's afraid of dragons or earthquakes or chasms in the ground?
That's why we're going to find the necklace before the next person falls asleep with it.
Well, no one else is going to be asleep tonight, but by tomorrow night. Well, this is terrible. You think you'll be able to find something?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to work on it. We've got our best people on it, which is ourselves. Me specifically, actually. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but then he plays a note on his kurth, which is not.
Well, I was going to say, which goes because it's waterlogged and just it is. Yeah, yeah. You're looks like you're going to need a little. Needs to dry out a bit.
Yeah, and Hodor just pats it down with the towel. He's not using the towel on himself. He's using the towel
on the crew. He's like, I'm gonna. I better go check on the ships.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got to. There's probably more jesters, and yeah, I stabbed one earlier, like a kebab. I don't think I want to have kebab tomorrow, actually.
All right.
So
no kebabs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow, I guess. And in the meantime, well, be safe, Weddle, and thank you. And and he starts walking away, and then he says, it's a good thing I don't have that necklace, because you know what I've always been most afraid of, Weddle?
What?
Being alone. And then he wanders off down the dock. Meanwhile, Regina, Reginald, and Lump, what are the three of you doing?
Crying eternally.
Feeling sad.
I like that you're all feeling this way, and Chad is like, I'm hungry for kebabs. Like that's Chad's sort of like vision. Okay, but beyond that, I have the three of you, so you can see now 1d4 emotional damage delivered. You can see now that the screams and shrieks have ceased, and as you're sort of looking around on the lantern light, you can see the result. A lot of these creatures of the fight, but there's something very strange about it, which you notice. And I would say maybe Reginald sees this. Over underneath the lantern light, Reginald, you can see what at first looks like the body of a jester, but then you see something is very strange about it, which is it doesn't look big enough or full enough to be a jester, but you can see the clothes over there anyway underneath the lantern light. You're too far away to see what it's surrounding or whatever, but it doesn't look like a jester body. It looks like, I don't know, something else.
I would definitely go and have a look at that, I would think.
When you get over there, you can see that there is what looks like a jester body sort of lying on the ground. next to the wall underneath this lantern. But the body seems puffy somehow, like it's turned away from you. Can't see any face. And the clothing looks puffy is the only way I could describe it.
I'm going to give the body a smell to see if I notice anything about the smell of it.
You don't notice the smell of anything that you don't smell blood or flesh. You don't see much of a smell or get much of a smell at all, actually.
I'm going to roll the body over.
When you roll it over, you see that there is no face here. It is a jester's body of clothes, but there's nothing in the clothes except what is coming out of the neck and the arms, and what was the jester's face is what looks like, for all the world, cotton candy. And that's where we're going to bring this to a close, our session to a close for tonight.
I'm just eating Jester candy.
Delicious. Yeah, I was going to say.
I feel like we've got a lot of food items that are going on my no list.
It's not cannibalism if it only looks like people.
So the party dealt with a difficult combat. The second attack, chat, they've been attacked by gargoyles, they've been attacked by jesters, but what was this thing? And why would it just all disappear and become cotton candy? It'll be interesting to see what happens, and you'll see it next month in the ArvCon as the Talisman adventures will come to a conclusion with Act 3, which is the final act of this adventure, which is the final part of this campaign. Good stuff today, everybody. That was not an easy fight to handle because of their ability to frighten you. Some of their roles and some of your roles both had some issues in different places, but a lot of it was when you hit, you did do a lot of damage, but there were moments where there were just some things like Lump and Reginald both had some ones where it was just like, that's a lot of ones that I see on the board. That's a lot of low scores. But you did manage to work it out one way or the other. And you were also dealing, of course, with complications. The old man going down a well, a woman, waiting there by the wall, that type of thing. There were some, and of course, naturally, Unger surrounded by 4 jesters. So I will start with the person at the bottom of the column here. That was a lot of fun, Bruce, and it was good to see Weddle getting a chance to maybe connect with Unger, saving them through the use of speed. And again, they were right near. Now, I will admit I may have slightly been influenced by the fact that I was just playing on guard on my channel earlier today where I got to kick people into water. So maybe it was just on my mind that you would just blow them into water by your speed. But they were not paying any attention to you. They were focused on Unger. So when you went flying into them, it made a lot of sense to me that they would just go flying off and into the water. And now you've got that date with Unger set up. But of course, you've also got a sort of, I wouldn't say bigger problem, but you've got another problem first, which is how you're going to deal with whatever the aftermath of this is and finding someone before they dream again. How did you feel about today's session, Bruce? Where will the lovely folks find you next?
Yeah, I thought that was a really fun session. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that Weddle got to ask Unger out. It's been my goal, just got to do it. And
in a dramatic way. That was
a dramatic way.
That wasn't the boombox over the head type of stuff. I mean, that was, that was good.
It was good. And I think Weddle definitely is going to feel a bit of pressure now to get things sorted so that, they can have a nice dinner tomorrow without, Unger being too worried or preoccupied to, but also I'm not sure if Weddle's really been on a date with a guy that he really liked before, it's going to be really, I think he's feeling a bit flustered, like, oh, actually, maybe, I just wanted to ask him out for dinner and declare my feelings and then get hit by all the things and die and not have to, deal with all the feelings that come with that.
Right, exactly. Before we die, I love you, and then you don't die. You're like,
yeah, it's awkward. But yeah, the fine folks will find me next, usually as usual, in the comments section of the Mike's Wholesome Horror stream. I just hang out there permanently. Yeah.
It's going to be good stuff. And then, of course, we'll have you back with us next month for ArvCon. And incidentally, I guess I still can't announce this, can I? Man, I really want to. No, you know what? Actually, no, I don't have to. We're going to do it. This is when we're going to do it. We're going to announce. Yeah, Pyron already knows what I'm going to say. We are going to announce. So I am going to make an announcement about announcement. I can definitely do that, which is that during ArvCon, there will be an announcement about something very special involving the 4 players below me and Inanda from our D&D with GOG group and Fleos, also from our D&D with GOG group. So there is going to be an announcement regarding that group. It is a significant announcement, I would say. I think that's fair to say. And it will affect not only this group, but it will also have somewhat of effect on this channel and to fans of the groups who have watched both The Ghosts of Saltmarsh and have also watched Talisman Adventures being played. So not only will we have the epic conclusion of Talisman Adventures and ArvCon, we will have an announcement about something else happening as well. You will not want to miss it. It is one of many reasons why the place to be, the only place to be, is a place to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation that weekend. So you'll definitely want to be there for that. Thank you, Bruce. Good stuff today. And I am very excited to see all of that. The only thing I will say is that since we want to get through this session, I want to make sure that we probably won't have time to RP the full Unger date, like 45 minutes of figuring out spices for the food and all that. But, we will try not to montage through it completely. We'll do what we can to get elements, but always a good time. Thank you, Bruce. Moving right up on the line. And also great shish kebab hit, I should say as well. Weddle from that too on the rapier side. On the other combat side, Lump, it was interesting to me, Mike, that Lump had this situation where you were the first one, I think, to be made afraid by one of the jester's abilities. And so having it remind you of something, and again, you haven't talked about the specifics yet, but having it remind you of something was something I think that would sort of stick with Lump, so that when you then started just battering the hell out of it, and it's like, he's already dead, that Simpsons thing, that you just were not going to stop because you're like, so that was a big thing. And it made a big difference, I think, in terms of the way the combat rolled, because having the two groups split actually worked out very well in the sense that both of you had to deal with these two issues, both groups, and both you and Weddle working with each other and Regina and Reginald helping each other. That was kind of necessary on some level for efficiency's sake. You probably could have sped it up by going down the alleyway, but probably there's no old man left by the time you get to the place of the well, and vice versa. If you go to help the old man, then the person in the alleyway is probably dead. So this was probably the only thing you could do to sort of handle it all, which means that you had to also think about how to do it without necessarily killing the person you were trying to save. So all of that was on the mind of Lump, and I thought it was interesting to see that all kind of break down. How did you feel about today's session, Mike? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Oh, as always, I loved it. I absolutely adored it. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's figuring out how Lump would deal with the situation. Like, obviously, we've got like the House of the Dead sort of, oh no, you're going this way, but there's someone who needs help right here, and you need to go and do this thing right now, otherwise they're going to perish, or you need to go forwards, or this person's going to perish. It's like, well, just split off. And it just goes to show that even if you think you are going to be in total control, if you split off and do a thing, even if you go 50% one way, 50% another, you will get a curveball, because I was not expecting those things to have a fear attack. Basically, I was not anticipating that at all. In fairness, I probably should have, but was not expecting. I thought it was
called maniacal laughter, by the way, was the
was
the attack.
Well, that's
literally
enough,
maniacal laughter.
I was expecting it to be, runaway train Lump, clothesline, the thing is dead. Maybe Weddle stamps on it a bit because Lump hasn't finished it off. And then we head back to the main group, and there was going to be some big bad there. It was like coming out of the well or something like that. Did not expect Lump to sort of just break down. And like you said, touches on some of the things that I've not spoken about for Lump, but we are going to touch on. More will be revealed at ArvCon. And it's not the only thing that's going to be revealed at ArvCon. Like I said, you said, there's going to be a huge announcement, which we're all, and this isn't just like a
no
throwaway announcement. Like, this is one of those things we've worked on this for a long time.
Yep.
So it's going to be a huge thing. This is a serious thing. And I'm very excited for it. But I'm also excited for you guys finding me next time. So if you want to see my stupid voice and face on Thursday, it's going to be my cake day. It's my birthday on Thursday, so I've taken some time off work and I'm going to play video games all day like a grown up. So you can come and watch me find weird anomalies on Wholesome Horror Gaming or hunt some ghosts on Phasmophobia and stuff like that. So yeah, tune in because it's good times and spooky vibes. Let's go check it out. But other than that, I'll see you in a bit.
Good stuff. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Mike. And yes, can confirm it is going to be an epic announcement. I'm excited for that. Also, you'll see, I believe, Mike back with us as well, along with Saber and Pyron for Saltmarsh next month as just a normal session, not the RFCon session. But yeah. Moving right out onto the line. Saber, again, great stuff today as well from Reginald. Reginald also freaked out about stuff. There was that moment where I was like, holy crap, we're about to go down an epic alleyway of RP with the boots thing, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, because I remembered, I was like, I don't think that they can die. I don't think exactly, and as it turned out, it was just that Boots was dissipated. Although even then, I would say that there was a moment of everyone being like, "You did this to the dog," can't do that. If you know anything about American politicians, don't be an American politician and do bad things to dogs because it's going to cause you problems. If you've been following the news, oh boy, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but it turned out that Boots was fine. Either way, though, you had to deal with that situation also of being afraid, something which is not common for Reginald, obviously, of being freaked out by stuff. And so that was interesting. I didn't know what Reginald would have thought about the idea of being made afraid of unnatural creatures like this. So I guess I should ask, what did you feel about today's session, and where will the fine folks find you next?
So many wands. So many.
Oh God, there were so many ones. Even on the heel check, it was just like,
oh, I'm pretty sure I killed a man.
I elbow women. Sorry, I meant to. Yeah,
yeah. I'll do CPR, and oh, that wasn't supposed to do that.
Yep. Homer Simpson away.
But I did get an excellent lightning bolt early on, so I'm not completely mad at
yes,
everything.
that's true. That's true.
Which kind of went against us, because like Mike was saying, we killed that so fast, we didn't realize they had anything extra.
Yeah.
So we were just like, okay, you two go down there, we'll go over here. And it was such a good plan, because I knew Regina would be up for trying to push a jester down a well. So I was just like, I'm going to suggest that and just be there to support.
Yes, the smug grin meant that you had gone the right way with Pyron on that one.
So but yeah, I mean, I can't believe we got our last session of this coming in fast now. Weird. But before then, well, I'll be back here tomorrow. I'm going to be looking at Front Mission 2, which is just released and came to GOG. Big fan of the first game, big fan of the third game. Never played the second.
Yeah,
so
I haven't either, actually. I loved Front Mission 3, but I never played 2. Huh.
So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. And as always, I'll be streaming on my own channel days when I'm not here.
Good
Thanks
stuff.
again, everyone.
Thank you, Saber. Good stuff tonight, as always. And last but certainly not least, Pyron, you're for my money, one of my favorite parts of the night was you just losing your mind over the comfort human and the comfort grandpa that you were dragging over the. It was a great visual. I love the idea that you're like, I'm just so freaked out. And then like somehow you have this adrenaline strength, like the mother lifting the car off the kid, that you're just like, come with me, grandpa. Like he's just going, well, his body is just smashing on the ground. Oh God, it was a great visual to see a sprite doing all of that. And obviously you did some massive damage to that jester as well when you weren't freaked out by it. And again, Regina, not used to being freaked out by things usually. So that's also kind of uncommon. But this whole thing was obviously creepy with these jesters. So I'm curious about how you felt about today's session and, of course, where the fine folks will find you next.
I think it was a wonderful session to just had it all. We had the fights, we had the horror, we had the romance, like everything. I think it was a great session. And I'll be a bit sad to see Talisman go because I really like the system and the world, and I even got all the books now. Well, not the adventures, but like the rule books and source books and all of that, because I really think it's a really good system. So yeah, I was very happy with that. I don't know when the good people will see me next. I'm gonna very cautiously look at Saber because Barony is on sale, and I'm talking about with 8-bit about testing the new multiplayer things, and I'll come back to you maybe with that if one day in the future, this year maybe or something like that, we could do things of that nature or something. Yeah. And then I'm always I'm looking forward to Mike's birthday. I'm looking forward to ARFCon. I think May is going to be pretty amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be a great May. Big announcement, and of course, big birthday coming up for Mike, and ARFCon itself is going to be great. So, lovely work tonight, folks, and I can't wait. I will also feel, as we'll talk about afterwards, I'll feel a little bit. It'll be a little bit bittersweet. I think the time's come. We've based on the adventures that are available to us. But it is a little bit sad, and I will look forward to hopefully maybe being able to run one shots of this, or have other people run one shots, or come back to it at some point in the future. But I think I feel good about where we're going to be ending this, one way or the other, this story. But this has been a great group of four characters, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they finish up their story next month. Chat, can we get some love for the awesome and amazing players from GOG? Of course, Pyron Jade, of course, Darksaber 2K, of course, Mike Smith, also known as Wholesome Horror Gaming, and of course, the amazing and awesome Undeveloped Bruce. Thank you so much to all four of you, and I will see you folks back here next month. Bye for now. Alrighty. And yes, chat, again, for those of you who did not see this before, as a reminder, we will have a big announcement next month. That is one of many things happening. I've got new stuff geared up for next month. I have got, in addition to that, I've got new stuff geared up for next month for ARFCon that is going to be launching at ARFCon. I have, obviously, we have giveaways. We have a bunch of tabletop stuff. We have the Talisman finale, and we have the marathon session of Eberron and a bunch of other things. And we've also got this big announcement dealing with the GOG crew. So specifically dealing with the four that you saw today, Pyron, Saber, Mike, and Undeveloped Bruce, and also involving Inanda and Fleos. So that group of players has got a big announcement, and I can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be super cool. So with all of that said, that is going to do it for me and for Pen and Pixels for this evening. Thank you all for being with us. If you would like to support us, please do so by following the channel. Please make sure that you consider subscribing to us here on GOG.com's Twitch channel. And please consider as well clicking through and checking out our own individual channels, because we have our own individual Patreons and subsystems and stuff like that as well. I will be back on my channel. Kilgore Trout's going to be here in a few hours. And I saw Kilgore in here, so hi, Kilgore. But I'm going to be back on my own channel in a couple of hours, about an hour and a half to be exact, at 9 p.m. Eastern for more of a GOG game, the Banner Saga 3, with the incredible and amazing Our Vocalist, my voice team. So that's going to be happening tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then April is going to be over. And as the song says, April come she will. May will come next, and that's going to be coming up next month. We got a lot of stuff going on in May. It's going to be exciting, but we got a little bit of April, just a little bit left. Hopefully you can join us for that tonight, and then join Kilgore as well for more of, I believe, Deus Ex, if I'm not mistaken. Kilgore, do we have more Deus Ex coming up? If I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's me. Yeah, we didn't adjust the next command for you. Invisible War, nice. So yeah, you should check out more of Invisible War from that. But otherwise, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And thank you for being here for Pen and Pixels. More Pen and Pixels next Tuesday. More gameplay tonight on my channel. Thursday night on my channel, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well. And more of stuff to happen on GOG in a few hours from now with Kilgore. Thanks to the wonderful players tonight of Bruce, of Mike, of Saber, and of Pyron Jade. And I will see all of you lovely folks there in chat over on my channel or back here on this channel next week for more Pen and Pixels. Until then, everyone, please be good to each other and have a good night.